This is a game that, I mean, actually, I don't know anything about this other than that this is a Phoenix Wright like. Phoenix like? Miles Edgeworth. That's all I know. So we're gonna go in and see what happens. Let me just drink my drink. It's like a that kind, Phoenix Wright games are like court case kind of dealio, and you got, like your objections and your hold it and your not so fast. Wait, is that not so fast? One of them, I think, right? And then maybe just a little smidge of like some mystical thing with like the psych locks, or as Edgeworth calls them, psycho locks, or like twisting your bracelet to determine the emotional state of the person in the precise moment as they repeat their testimony over and over again for you. Yeah, it's like one of those. You stressed? Oh, I good luck, Renetta. Good luck. Yeah, no, I empathize with that stress. I hope it goes okay. New case. It's also not all out yet. We have episode 0, which is the demo, I think, and then we have episode 1. But we'll find out and see. Oh yeah, I love food. Thank you. Treats. Rain sizzles off neon above me. The summer shower creates a noted uptick in the flickering of holograms down the street. Okay, immediately cyberpunk aesthetic. Oh, ow. Wait, wrong button. Where's my? I need this on my mouse. Ow. And a slight blunting of the night's ambience. Emphasis on slight. Lights, cameras, and constant noise. The city's got insomnia, with the uneven heart rate to prove it. There's no escaping this sound, the secondhand nervous energy of it all. But I'm pretty acclimated. Just a wave of worries cresting in the surface while I hold my breath deep below. Besides, a microdose of nightlife anxiety suits my mood just fine. Because if I'm not careful, this client of mine's gonna die in jail. Oh, hold on, I can't block her. Okay. Ashes. Cool. Morgan. Ah! Criminal attorney. It's hard to get away with murder these days. I'll be here. People are still presumed innocent, at least on paper, but by the time they're in cuffs, there's hardly any shadows of doubt left. Because this whole world's lit up, mapped out, never unknown, and always online. Whether it's incandescent or neon or halo, whether it's LCD, LED, or just the nearest phone screen, there's light shining on every last pixel of the map. And someone's always watching. Solitude's a rarity. Anonymity's scarce. And the criminal defense attorneys aren't exactly flush with customers. So you take whatever clients you can get. You don't balk at the public defender work, no matter the hour. And should you find yourself in one of those last dark quack corners left in the whole world, well, smoke 'em if you got 'em. Not that there's much less left I can do. Until my phone? Counselor, your public defender contract has been approved. You're expected at the 254th precinct. Present your ID at the door to enter. Arrive at least 15 minutes early. I'll try. Looks at the paperwork came through. It's nearly 3:15 now. 90 minutes since I took the job. Probably makes it about 2 hours since I finally got smart enough to ask for a lawyer. If they're really smart, they'd have used that time to get some rest. Because now that I'm here, things are going to get busy. Are you not hearing the in-game sound? You're not. Fuck. Sorry. Sorry. Yes, it was. It was like, it was kind of rain sounds. Yeah. You're right. I didn't realize that was muted. Okay, now you should hear. Yeah. There we go. Of the Devil, episode 0. And he shall appear. Disable tutorials, you can turn it back on the settings. No. We can be tutorialed. You can tutorial me. I don't mind being tutorialed by her. That's cool. That's fine. Suspect not found. Precinct 254. It's... Ooh, right. It's a goddamn ghost town. There's nothing but a hologram for a welcoming party. I'm here about a homicide. High clearance rates be damned. You'd think they'd treat it with a little more gravitas. But whatever, if I'm that unimportant, they've got no right to complain if I take my sweet time getting checked in. And I should take my time. Information's like cash in my line of work. You gotta spend it to make it. And if you're flat broke, no one will give a shit what you have to say. So let's see if I can't poke around and shake them change loose. Good night, Pearly Whirly. Sleep well. Heart, head still pounding. Oh, I'm glad it's getting better. Oh. Press escape or click the phone icon at the top left to access the pause menu. Cool. And toggle on auto text. Use mouse to look around. Click on and press space to find them automatically. Oh. You earn credit for investigating everything you can. Credit's about meow. Ow. Thank you. Brave timing. Credit is about the measure of your information gathering and skills and your own credibility, so don't grow broke. Oh, playing card! Oh. Oh, interesting. Okay. So give me a second. Let me go to settings for a moment. Let me try putting this at Ultra and see if OBS can handle it. I think it can. Ow. Thank you. Ow. Okay, observe. An actual police lineup. It's like I walked into the museum. Though, Ow. The museums tend to feel expensive and clean. Dusty, forgotten, probably lots of unpacked boxes. This homicide department's more like an addict. Hard to believe they were ever so busy that they had witnesses making IDs in the lobby. Wow, that happens a lot very often now. Then again, it's hard to believe they were ever doing lineups in the first place. Are you certain? Wasn't it dark? Did you know that during traumatic events, memory formation is blah blah blah? Poking holes in that setup must have been like shooting fish in a barrel, and all during billable hours. But there's no room to sow doubt anymore. Not when a modded witness can just submit their testimony as a video recording. Assuming their phone didn't automatically file a police report for them. High traffic hallways, utilitarian furnishings. Ow! Multiple screening stations. Oh, I already really like her vibe. Like, yeah, I'm here for this. Pragmatic brutalism, so textbook it could teach freshman level architecture. I can almost hear the building drone on and on about concrete and iron and hard right angles, yada yada yada. Civil planning equivalents of battle scars. From a fight won so long ago that they're starting to look ridiculous. I'm sure it was all very imposing back when it was built. But walking here now with crime rates where they are, feels like a hospice ward for heavy-handedness. The medium's cracked in the corner. Looks bad, but my phone's made of the same stuff, and I'm rolling a dice every time it falls off the sofa. Cool. I do not have a sub-H command. Probably nulled a warranty on that one of these things with a loud sneeze. At least it's not broken entirely. In its hour, it's dutifully scrolling. Oh, pizza. Wow, you made pizza?
Yeah.
Did you make fresh pizza? Holy shit. Thank you. Sky made from scratch pizza. Okay, that's hot. That'll be BRB food. Also, yeah, I really like the writing already. Thank you, Sky. Nom, nom, nom. Looks like the usual 1-to-1 ratio of public health alerts and inoffensive pop culture trivia you always get served at state buildings. I can't improvise noir detective narration very well. This is yeah, I like this. But there's a few missing persons too. 1 year of silver plan coverage, courtesy of Cadesis as a reward for any... Silver's no joke. Family must be getting desperate. A data pad. I'll bite. Even when there are more advertisements in an article, they can still be informative. In a flowery, roundabout, corporate propaganda sort of way. Now for articles in the environment, they offer insight into the world around you and credit towards your investigation. Articles are added to your phone as a reading list. Choose a proper takeaway after reading them, and you'll... Oh, interesting. Wait, what? Proper takeaway. Okay, subway fixes axe. City to refocus on canopy. Declaring the subway tunnels to be irreparably flooded, city engineers announced that this week that all plans to drain and repair the system were being suspended indefinitely. Saltwater damage to insensitive electronic cabling and erosion of the key tunnel fixtures were cited as reasons for why 89% of the subway system was evaluated as critically compromised or worse. Civil engineering efforts will be refocused on maintenance and expansion of the hybrid super infrastructure system that weaves together trams, highways, walkways, and strikers into the canopy high above our city streets. Reactions to the announcement could be characterized as blasé. It's been years since subway last ran trains. That's a bit giving up on them. And then having a comeback. Online chatter barely reacted to the announcement, with most commenters and voters' attention focused instead on the growing investigations into the Councilman Long's campaign finance irregularities. Wait, is this just become a different article? Also, this is immediately also reminded me of Transistor. Oh, you tried vegan pizza? Hell yeah, nice. As one of the Canopy's major backers in City Hall, Long has often found himself at odds with a small but vocal group of critics that consider it to be an eyesore and an amplifier of light and noise pollution, and with Long having stepped away from his political duties more in order to more fully cooperate with investigators for the first time in nearly 20 years, the typically rock city political foundation of the Canopy was looking uncharacteristically shaky going into this week. But with subways now officially no longer an option, people and corporations alike have little choice for how they can complete their morning commute. Right, okay, so yeah. However, not all reactions to the news have been negative. At least a few bold individuals see this latest report as vindication, possibly even a rallying cry. Already considered by many to be a rising star in infrastructure solutions, tech startup Subterra made headlines last year with their radical proposal for a system of personal submarine taxi pods that could make use of the flooded subway tunnels, but momentum stalled when their first prototype for the city came in at this disappointing 3,359% over budget. The one council member was quoted as calling the system mind-bogglingly wasteful and impractical in the extremes. In light of this latest announcement, Subterra has proudly declared their intent to resubmit their proposal package. Oh, boy. Good, let's reinvent the train with boats and submarines. Across the entire globe, coastal cities like ours have struggled to find civil engineering answers to rising sea levels and subterranean flooding that satisfy financial, practical, and aesthetical concerns. Historically, most scientists have attributed this increase in sea level to climate change. There are dissenting voices. Water rises and falls all the time. Oh god, no. For reasons we do not fully understand. Please that you have zero free articles reading this month. Please verify your account information in order to continue reading this better. Oh my god. You know. Okay, I'm glad I kept writing to the end there, because Jesus Christ. Articles jump scare. Hi, Neko. It's nice to see you. Yeah, you know, like, air gets polluted and smoggy all the time. It, like, comes in and comes out. We don't really fully understand the reasons for, like, the smoggy weather that we get in the cities. Are we expected to do anything about this when, like, we don't really know why this happens? Like, who's to say how the weather changes like this? Maybe it's just always been like, maybe we just didn't know that smog in cities was... This game is violently funny and very happy to take this out of our world. I love... Yeah. Yeah. Can your science explain why the tide comes in? I think not. Checkmate. Yeah, throw shit at the boring company. Yeah. Suck it. Yes, it can. Ballsy of them putting in the paywall there, as if I'd reached my wallet after having to read a word like aesthetical. Besides, I got the gist of it. The takeaway is that the city will be focusing its efforts on... Oh, interesting. On the canopy or Subterra? Well, wait, what was the question just asked? Because because the city is going to focus on the canopy, but Subterra wanted to make a proposal was the article. But the question that Morgan just asked was what the city was going to focus on.
Yes.
I think, if I'm understanding what this is doing correctly. Oh, here we go. The takeaway is that the city will be focusing its efforts. So what's the city going to be focusing on? The canopy. Yeah. There'll be an increased scrutiny surrounding the canopy now that there's no plan B. It's a massive project with a massive budget. Lions and pockets of a lot of people, big and small. None of them would appreciate bad press at the moment. Not when Councilman Long is already thoroughly chumming the waters. All right. Taking all the scenery and learned as much as I can here. Time to get checked in. AP fine, so far so good. Good morning! Morgan here for the Public Defender contract. Could you please provide your name and... Great! Please stand by still for a moment. I wouldn't call Intake Hollows charming. More like harmless. That's probably what the designers were aiming for. People don't mind a quirk or two in their text, so long as it never speaks out of turn. I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble pleasing you. Could you please provide your name and date of birth? So far, so good, was it? My card. Not the customer service voice. Scan my card or scan my face? Get my card? Since you can see my face. Oh, yeah, phone. Oh. Wait. Ow. Thank you. Oh. Likes puzzles, smoking, wooden furniture. This likes commercials, hairdressers, and jogging. You like hairdressers? I mean, I guess it's like you said. I mean, yeah. Can fall asleep in any position. Coffee, decaf. Whiskey sour, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. My kind of girl. And by that, I mean I drink whiskey sour too. And there's the thing we just read. There's my credits, load game, save game. Save it. Sure. Morgan time. Oh. Interesting. Search terms. Settings, backlog. Hold on, maybe I will just a hi, maybe. Oh, true. We can just check her birthday, can't we? December 26th. Oh. Yeah, almost Christmas. Fellow Capricorn on December 23rd, baby. Oh, nice. Alice is Lucy Sour Girly. Yes, you can take notes. Scan my card. Say, why don't you just scan my card? Great! Now, could you just confirm your date of birth for me? Why do they even bother asking? Birthday's on a damn ID card and my profile. You have to be a world-class airhead to get this question wrong. No problem. My birthday's... Oh, hey. Well, there we go. December 26th. December 26th. Perfect! Good morning, Morgan Counselor. Thank you for your timely arrival and for taking on this public defender contract. If you're ready to speak to your client, you can proceed to counseling quarter 3C. Is that what we're calling it now? You mean the interrogation room? I'm sorry to have cause any confusion. My vocabularies are regularly updated to better reflect the state standards. Don't sweat it. I can't keep track of every new euphemism either. They could call it the involuntary wellness check room if they like. Doesn't change the way that makes a person feel sitting in a stifled box of one-way panels. Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Nothing to see but their own reflection duly warped across the gunmetal walls. Morning, Counselor. Can I help you with anything else? Choices to progress the story and choices that present side topics will react differently to your mouse. You can use keys 1 to 5 in a preview to choose dialogue with choices 1 to the bottom. Because of what you read earlier, you've unlocked an additional choice in this dialogue. Read and examine at every opportunity to build up your knowledge and get the most out of every conversation. That's cool. What are you? No thanks. Why the despair? Or disrepair? I know the city is not terribly concerned with the lower wards, but this is a police station. Why is it so goddamn dusty? This facility is currently undergoing renovations. Since when? 60s? It has been 22 months since the timetable was last updated. They really don't see a lot of action around here, do they? I'm sorry for any inconvenience you may have encountered. I'm adaptable. What about you? Are they ever going to fix that crack? Thank you for asking. It has not interfered with my work. Well, that's all that matters, right? Oof. If I can fall asleep in any position, including standing up, then same. Ooh. I don't think I've ever fallen asleep standing up before. What are you? I am a smart user interface proudly sold by Noble Electronics. Thank you for asking. If you're interested, I can send you a link with some information about our subscription packages. Should I send a link with information about our subscription packages to your inbox? No. Sorry. That was a mean question to ask. Huh? That'll be all, thank you. You'll find the counselor quarters past our homicide detective's office through the door to your right. Thanks. But I think it's just me for now, so you could go on a break if you'd like. Automated dependents do not take breaks, Morgan, counselor. Then what were you doing before I walked in? You'll find the counselor quarters past her homicide detective's office through the door to the right. Thank you. Yes, I know. Ads don't get breaks, and they don't get my jokes. But it's usually the humorless types that are the most fun to mess with anyways. Cave opens. Ice combat or something? A voice. No, voice is coming from down the hall. Ready yours? Probably. Thank God it's not for directions. A building that's empty. The desk could have just told me to follow the echoes. One voice sounds older, rougher, and decidedly low energy. Appreciate you worrying about me. God forbid I try to be serious. While the other rings with youthful indignation. It's not like our jobs are as important or anything. Definitely cops. And at this precinct, at this hour, they might be the only 2 living, breathing people in the whole complex. Because why else would you bother to print all that out? 1 document or 100 looks the same on a data pad. Anytime you question a suspect, you need to have a heavy file on hand. Makes them think you know them better than their priest, their mother, their big brother. I wasn't gonna say that. So how many of those sheets were blank then? No red carpet tonight, officers? Good cop? Oh, sorry about that, ma'am. We don't keep many extra hands around at these hours. Probably faster to let the desk handle intake anyway. But mostly cheaper. You the lawyer? I am. Morgan Esquire, pleased to meet you. Same here, counselor. Quasm, London. Oh no. Oh, that's Quasm London. Sorry, I'm blocking them. And the ball of sunshine here is my partner, Farrah Rays. Oh no, okay. Ball of sunshine? Oh, she certainly is. Sorry if I kept you waiting. Chatter between the departments has been hectic all night. Oh, it's no trouble. Give me time to enjoy my cigarette. Cigarette? Like tobacco? What are you, 80? She can't be more than a few years younger than me. We're the detectives in charge of this particular case. And it looks like tonight, we're also your humble guides to the illustrious homicide department. I have so much of this game memorized. I'm reciting with artistic joy. Aww! Apologies in advance for any cobwebs. Pretty sure I've seen this London character around the courthouse before. He's never stuck out to me as more than just some old-timer. But I suppose being an old-timer is an accomplishment in itself in this profession. Sunshine is certainly a new face, though. Virgin her posture. 2.0! Hi, Foxes! Hi, 1 year! Oh my god. Thank you, the resub. It's nice to see you. I hope you've been well. I hope you're like the last of your hangouts and all of that has been going really nice. Meow. Meow, meow. Oh, last night. Oh, I'm glad you're able to spend like so much time together. That's really nice. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I released a video today. I have pizza in front of me that I should BRB to eat. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I actually don't know when the ad break is supposed to happen, but I should probably BRB like now to eat this pizza. I think it's cooled off now. Always being quick on the draw, never letting me shout out. Thank you, Leighton. Thank you. BRB for now? Okay. Yeah, actually, yeah, I will BRB and go get some water and drink my pizza. No, wait, eat my pizza, drink my water. Gonna be here. I'm gonna be pizza too. Nice. Okay. Yeah, be back. Ow.
Yes.
Thank you.
Nice par.
Hi, Trans Knight. It's nice to see you. Oh, I just realized I have the IFTF on the bottom corner. That's probably fine there. I kind of like that there. Hi. I'm good. I'm good. I I got my video done, and people didn't like it. I'm pretty happy with it. Another thing successfully accomplished in that line of trying to do the whole YouTube things. And actually, I think numbers wise, I'm trying not to like look at the numbers too much when it's going, but like I was curious because like I think last couple of videos I released were not getting as high numbers as my other videos, I suppose. I think this one's like pretty decent, like somewhere in the middle out of all the videos I've ever released. So like that's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. Let me drink a little more water and then. I brought some Andrea Gibson quotes and poems, and my pronouns haven't even been invented yet. It's such a mood. Cool. Sorry. Yeah. So we're checking out this game called Of the Devil, which is a Phoenix Wright-like game, and yeah, on many levels already feels like a love letter to that style of game. I'm very happy that it's like point and click, we can explore around. I'm very happy that we get like decisions. I'm really liking the writing. Freshly promoted, maybe. 2 whole detectives working at these hours. Sounds serious. Unless you were just first to arrive on the scene. No, we're not nearly that timely. Uniforms responded to the emergency calls within a few minutes.
Yes.
Calls. Meow, meow, meow. Calls, plural. This must have been quite the commotion. Look around. Do you think we're the first to arrive for anything? She's not wrong. We were only tapped after the circumstances at the scene indicated involvement with an ongoing investigation. Our ongoing investigation. Not very subtle, is she? But I may as well bite at this point. So you suspect that this client of mine is involved in some separate criminal activity? Oh, wait, did they really not? No, I guess they wouldn't put it in a public defender's briefing. Look, consider this a little professional courtesy. A fair warning, all right? That's the heartbreak killer in that room. And if we've got this bastard dead to rights. So if you're kind, you'll help him plead it out. And if you're smart, you'll pass this shitstorm onto some other night owl and go back to bed. Vsauce just dropped a video for the first time in over 2... Whoa, hold on. Really? Holy shit. A new Vsauce video? 2 hours ago. Okay, well, that... I can't possibly... No, I don't want to delay, like break this game to then look at Vsauce, but that sounds cool. 2 hours while we were streaming. Literally, as we were talking about science shit, Vsauce posted a video. Well, damn. Okay, well, that's cool. That's cool. Maybe... Interesting. That's... I'm gonna watch that tonight. I'm not feeling particularly kind or smart at the moment. So perhaps in the meantime, you'd be so polite as to fill me in about this heartbreak killer. They cover utilities at the rock you live under? Is there a problem? You're seriously not familiar with HK? No, I know Hollow Knight. I love Hollow Knight. Never heard of him. I've heard enough of him for a lifetime. That name has been plastered all over the city for weeks. The crime is wavering between breaking news and urban legend. The presumed goal flip-flopping from unadulterated anarchy to appreciated vigilantism. At street corners, in the media, on the net, everyone's indulging in the exact kind of armchair detective speculation that I can't stand. But right now, I need to figure out exactly how much the police do or don't know. And when it comes to cops, I always get better results playing dumb than I do acting smart. I take it he's a repeat offender? Was it the killer part that tipped you off? You must have at least heard of his MO. Media's going crazy with it. Along with everyone else. I mean, if you feel like you played this hand too heavily here... Also, hold on. Let me get out of... raise this way a little bit. I'll just be smaller. I feel like if you play your hand a little too heavily here, then they'll be like, okay, you're just playing dumb. There's no way you didn't know about this. One bullet straight to the heart. Body left to lie where it falls. Hence the name Heartbreak. Not exactly creative, but amidst the swirl of every other 100-word article out there, catchiness trumps originality. What you won't read about online is that all 6 HK victims were shot by the same gun, without even needing to reload. horrible to say, I know, but 6 for 6? That's pretty good shooting, isn't it? Hitting the bullseye at the shooting range is good shooting. Doing it 6 times in a row is great. But shooting 6 people with accuracy like that, it's a whole different beast. Takes a second, it's kind of monster, a real freak. His pulse probably didn't even rise. I see. Hey, Vsauce! Sourdough here. Wait. Yeah, the art style's interesting, yeah? Well, speaking of droids in Star Wars, it does sound a little robotic, don't you think? Oh, I accidentally clicked that, I didn't mean to. You make him sound almost like a machine. Is it possible that... No, it's not. There's no such thing as killer robots, madame. Not? Yeah, of course, my mistake. So all those androids marching in the military, those robots patrolling in the police uniforms, those drones dropping firebombs out of the sky, I guess they're all firing blanks. Right, silly me. Fair enough. Machines can kill, and they have been for decades, but they don't commit murder. Right. Evil like heartbreak is all organic. That's a pretty terrifying thought. Evil Little Bug's art style is definitely unique. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've seen this artist before, this artist's work before. Kind of interesting face shapes you don't usually see. Yeah, I know. None of the kills were a murder. Yeah, no. Clearly. How I managed to miss 6 murders. Well, you can only blame yourself for missing 5. Pardon? You're still not getting it? HK's 6th victim was found a few hours ago, when we caught the son of a bitch red-handed. So you're convinced that my client is a heartbreak killer and tonight was just his latest crime. That's a serious accusation with very serious consequences. I take it you have serious evidence to back that up. Come on, I was being a literal, counselor. Huh? Red-handed. When we found your client, he was covered in her blood. Well, that's... Okay. Well... That's not good, is it? What you say certainly sounds compelling. Is that lawyer talk for open and shut? Even if that's the case, how does one crime scene make him look good for 6 murders? It's all there in Discovery Files. And in the arcs, of course. Join the local net on your phone and we'll turn over everything you need. How that? Thanks for that, detective. I'll be sure to read it over. But if it's all the same, could I ask you some questions while I got you here? The hell kind of attorney wanted to interrogate the detectives? Oh, this kind of attorney. You're just that pleasant. Come on, sunshine. Not like we gotta be punching out anytime soon, right? Whatever. Let your client stew in interrogation all night for all I care. Tara, you mean the counseling quarters? We're at your disposal, counselor. Ooh. Okay. Well, let's hold on. Let's look at it. Before we ask questions, let's look at what we just have here. Did you hear about the damned of Rogue where you play the literal Shut up! No, what? Why? What do you mean? That doesn't sound... Wait, roguelike of what? Doing what? Shh, fuck up. You're joking, right? This is a joke, this is a bit, because that's funny. That's pretty good. Arrest us last is fine. But it's a bit, okay? Like really, this sounds like a awful roguelike. Okay, augmented reality crime scene is an investigative tool in which data is harvested by the sensors worn on the first responders. It's used to reconstruct a digital copy of a pristine crime scene, programmed and distributed by a small number of corporations and frequently modified or even personalized by local municipalities. Modified, okay. The ARC systems are used by every major police force, most insurance investigators, and many law firms. After its introduction in the early 2060s. Oh yeah, I kind of like that they referred to 2060s as the 60s, because that is what we're going to refer to the 60s soon. Once we pass the 60s, that'll be our 60s. After its introduction in the early 60s, the technology briefly became under public scrutiny when the independent news organization United Media Casters released a series of reports claiming that ARC's data was regularly edited by corrupt officials to erase state secrets. Yeah, I mean, if we can manipulate it, then and modify it, then yeah, right? These reports were later found to be fake, and the UMC was exposed as a subsidiary of a cell corporation within Lambda Work Solutions, who were marketing a number of alternatives to ARC's technology at the time. Oh, okay. Board members at Lambda denounced the actions of said cell and offered assistance to their former competitors in suing leadership at UMC, but proceedings, settlements, and lawsuits remained unsettled. That's just for the term ARCs. Wait. What's occupation, criminal, likes killing, dislikes getting caught, favorite color probably red, zodiac sign probably not in astrology, reward suspended due to influx of false reports. Wow. Homicide detective, first class, photography, dive bars, bangs. Oh yeah, he likes the bangs. Dislikes ties, pollen, after hour work messages, listen to podcasts, hobby, pencil sketching, and running late. Ray's likes rice, limes, and automotive history. Just like liars, small plates, and cheap people. Enjoys watching product reviews. Bad at games of chance. Okay, so wait, how are you? wait. What do you mean bad at games of chance? Calls, profiles, terms. I'm gonna save. Yeah. Unlucky stat. Let's go gambling! Oh, dang it. Oh, wait, does she? She has an eye patch over a bionic eye. Wait, where do you see that? Oh, right eye is OS Iris Elite 86. Oh. Hey, yeah, good call out on that. You're right. Probably is a robotic eye. But if it's from 86, maybe it's a older one? Alright, let's back this. Barren is stark and uninviting. This must be Ray's desk. Keeping your workstation neat and tidy is admirable, but I can't spot a single mode of personalization. Does she so know she hasn't had time to unpack, or is she really that uptight and boring? Huh? Both, maybe. You shouldn't have cleaned up so much just for little me, Detective London. Someone really needs to introduce this guy to a filing system, or even just a stapler. Paper documents scattered about lazily alongside actual photographs. Oh, the game takes place in 2086. Okay. Also, Lemon, you found the artist? Evil little buggy. Oh yeah, wait, I guess Zoe said that. I guess we did know that. Have they done anything else though? Or buggy? Why is actually looking at my desk. And he doesn't look like the paranoid type. Well, ordinalist aside, some things are better than paper. I'll give him that. I forget. Latest Noble androids receive a warm welcome, bolstered by a strong earnings report and surging sales. Animate 16. Noble Electronics stock rose a stunning 3%. Wow! This year to a new record high. While Noble's latest iteration has yet to surpass the sheer popularity of its predecessors, an increased profit margin has left Noble's shareholders very enthused. Oh, we do love our shareholders to be enthused. If there's not one thing that gets me excited, is to know that the shareholders are indeed enthused. Goodness me. Oh, there's spoilers in the galleries. Oh, okay. Many investors were skeptical when, at their now infamous 2084 trade convention, Noble announced that their 16th line would be the first generation of androids to feature over 50% organic components. So-called warm androids, which at the time only saw demand in health, senior, and childcare sectors, were looked down upon as impractical due to increased maintenance costs like cuts, scratches, bruises, and like. While some critics voiced concern that fringe religious or traditionalist groups might find warm androids controversial, more business-focused minds feared that Noble was alienating its customers in the industrial and military sectors in order to cater to civilian consumers, users that viewed their androids from across the room and not from above the factory floor. However, as has often been the case in the latest decade, Noble's doubters were proven wrong. The Animate 16 is poised to break profitability records with no signs of slowing down, and many industry analysts predict that these once rare organic androids will completely replace their more robotic predecessors in daily life within the next 2 to 5 years. As described in the earnings report, much of the 16th line success, and indeed the success of Noble's androids in general, can be attributed to the remarkable lifelike, personable charm of their products. Ow. Good night, Lucy. Sleep well. And by all accounts, that charm can be attributed to the work of Noble's famed lead programmer, Dr. David Asher. Lead programmer is the understatement of the century, said Noble brand ambassador Lucy Dees on stage at their latest #Noble Industry Weekend. It's because of his Turing solution that adds every Noble product, from the sleekest assistants to the most advanced intensive care technicians, are so beloved and trusted by our customers. While his reputation was on full display at the event, Dr. Asher himself was nowhere to be seen. He's always been reclusive, but he's become a genuine hermit in recent years. Am I really to believe he's still... Hey fam, it looks like you're not logged in this device. Want to put in your account info so we can help keep you reading? Just sign up in these quick 3 easy steps, and we'll make sure that you keep reading all of what we got, fam. Jesus Christ. So the warm android. Okay, he's in the news again. It's no wonder. You can't spit without landing in a piece of Noble tech these days, especially not when the state's involved. Don't know if they'll bite when it comes to warm androids, though. For government use, they're just... Wait. That's not the question I thought I was going to ask. Too expensive or too frail? I mean, the main thing that I said was like, oh, they're not sure if they liked it because, well, they can get hurt, right? Cuts and bruises and all that. Yeah. That's investors skeptical, though. I didn't really see any mention of it being expensive, so I'm gonna say too frail. Yeah. All androids undergo wear and tear, especially if they're directing traffic or suppressing crowds. Since these warm androids bleed pink all over themselves every time they take a rock to the cheek, it's just an endless stream of bad photo ops waiting to happen. Observe. Okay, I guess we'll talk to them. Can we talk to them? Oh, I guess not. Loose wires, missing panels, an aircon system that probably sweats more than the people it's supposed to cool. No room in the budget for making the office not look like shit, huh? I expected to find a lot of belt tightening at Homicide. I didn't think their operation would be this bare bones. They've got a stunning clearance rate, and they work fast. Most of the city sees that and just assumes their job is easy. You know what this also reminds me of? I think it's the 3D aspect, but also like this kind of 2D representation or display for the characters. This also reminds me a little bit of Danganronpa. Bleed pink, huh? I heard that. Maybe the job is easy for, with our dear dotting surveillance state eliminating so much of the footwork. Danganronpa is an inspiration. Yeah. I just realized like, oh, there's something else here. It's Danganronpa. But if your wheels don't squeak, you don't get your palms greased. So Homicide ends up as the only state department with a shrinking budget. The grants the police force is most unambitious and least popular. Okay. Okay. Nothing else jumps out at me around here. I've got a better idea of who I'm dealing with, at least. Now I need to check out the crime scene data. I should have been sent a link. You've been granted access to state files regarding case KL. Wait. Isn't that I'm pretty sure that's the infamous case lettering from Phoenix Wright, right? That's the... Is it? Am I wrong about that? Or did it start with a D? I'm pretty sure that lettering is used in... Or I don't know. Yeah, the numbers, I don't think so. But I'm pretty, like, was this the Edgeworth and Von Karma case? I wonder. I guess it's much luck. Or no, that was DGS? What are all the... I have to look at all the case numbers. Yeah, Rise in the Ashes. DL6. Oh, okay. I see why I thought it was the same. You need to reply C in order to confirm. Am I talking to a person? I am an automated dependent. Oh my god. Ads are usually more polite. Our personalities are tailored to suit our user preferences. So the state likes you to be a little authoritarian. You need to reply C. C. It's C. Thank you. All right. My phone. Yeah, bro. Come on. Oh, hello. Oh, we're doing the Batman. Yeah, fuck you. I don't even want it now. Agent the Betamaid assistant. All right, let's see what the police have and what they think is important. Well, the victim's body. Cause of death, ballistic trauma, class 4 blood loss, atrium and aorta. Single gunshot wound to the head or heart and brief. Death was instantaneous. No injuries anywhere else. And no blood or skin under her nails. Blood splatter forensics and all that other good stuff tells him that she was shot from there. So the killer was standing in the door when they were fired. The murder weapon, a revolver found right next to the body. 6 empty casings found in each of the 6 chambers, meaning the gun's been fired 6 times. Looks like the crime scene techs practically disassembled the damn thing. But all they found were fingerprints belonging to my client. So he was found by police with the murder weapon right in front of the body. I didn't know where to start. Highly prejudicial would be an understatement. But like, why were they here though then? Did they intentionally get caught? A stand-up mirror, shattered and knocked over. Real glass, no screens or cameras here. It was hit hard enough to come unattached from his arm, while shards of glass were scattered, far enough to land on the victim's body. What a mess. Hi, Jesse. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in. Welcome. Yeah, also similar to Cyberpunk 2, yeah. Accurate. Hi. We are playing a Phoenix Wright like game. We're lawyers investigating the case. Seems like this vase got tossed aside at some point, and yet there's not a scratch on it. Must be pretty damn durable. Isn't art supposed to be delicate? Maybe it's just making a statement. That's all the big ticket items. What about the security? Looks like the department was unlocked at all night. It's not uncommon for people in their age in a neighborhood like this. No signs of forced entry, only it hurts my client's case. What about the rest of the room? There's not much else flagged here. Just a lounge chair that got thrown and whatever that is. Ceramic debris? Flag as irrelevant. That's their technical assessment? I guess even the crime scene techs weren't sure what to make of it. Okay. That's everything the police highlighted. Did I miss anything? No. ... Yeah, what the hell is that? That's cool. That's a cool, like... Something in the victim's hand? How the hell did I... It's just a pillow organizer. Looks like some immune adjusters, NSAIDs, and triprexazone, a synthetic glucocorticoid medication. Taken daily to reduce rejection symptoms like phantom pain and generalized itch. Okay, so they recently have an amputation or like a biotic arm or something done. The autopsy said her tox screen is clear, but it's not like it matters. She could have swallowed every medicine in the cabinet in the city. It still wouldn't change the cause of death. It's odd, but ultimately irrelevant. Everything else here is all very incriminating, but the kicker's everything that's not here. No out-of-place DNA, footprints, crumbs. Nothing that points towards anyone except my client. Well, done more with less before. But not much more. Yeah, it sounds like a transplant patient. I'm really gonna have to sing for my soup supper this time, but I could start. Who the hell's messaging me at this time of night? First person that comes to mind is. So it could be something important. Rad! What? Couldn't wait until morning. Good news, of course. I got a job for you. That's a pretty true way to tell me you violated a parole. Well, not that kind of job. Sides have been covering my tracks. This is something different. Did you just... Don't admit the crimes. Don't admit the crimes in chat. The kind of thing I can't handle with just a keyword in a phishing scheme. I need to see my gym teacher. Okay. Not that kind of lawyer, sorry. Hey, at least let me finish. What do they do? Make me run laps. Not illegal. Let me finish. They made me run laps. Even though I said I had a stomach ache. That. Gotta be like youth endangerment or something. Depraved indifference or some shit. Sounds like you've already got a strong case. Very self-representing this time. It's just a blow off. Nice phrasing. Oh wow, I'm laughing so hard right now. See? Jail for the gym teacher. Is that your mugshot? I wasn't gonna not get a copy of my mugshot and use that as a reaction. Jeez. Glad you found a use case. But I'm working right now, so... Anything cool? Homicide. Oh, cringe. Wait, what kind of homicide? Is it HP key? Is that the kind of morbid thing your kids your age talk about? Teens my age? And yeah, we can read. Compared to the corrupt shit in the headlines. Old-fashioned murder, like Cardi B is like quaint. It's not heartbreak. Then why'd you take the job, Ol? You see the 98% conviction rate is a challenge or something? You taking up a lost cause? Probe knows work. It's pro bono. That was autocorrect. You know they give lit homework for a reason, right? This is borderline concern nagging. Maybe you really aren't bleeding heart. Or just a sucker. I'm not a sucker. Nice phrasing, lol. Should go to bed, friend. Tomorrow's Sunday. I can stay up if I want. Tomorrow is Sunday. Because today is Saturday. What's with the Carpe Diem shit? It's nearly 4 a.m., kid. You got school in like 3 hours. Shit! Repeat offenders may be good for business. But that kid's just bad for my blood pressure. Important text message, I take it. Just your typical teenage drama. So then, if you wouldn't mind filling me in on some few details. All right, let's do this one last-ish, or let's get the details first. So, how about the basics? It was actually open to Tuesday. I was gonna note that or mention that the Pills Open was Tuesday was open. Yeah. But we just got information that today is Saturday. It's 4 a.m. on Saturday. Right? Right? You should set them up. Oh yeah, I mean, it could be open because she was like going through and putting them in, and these pills weren't taken yet. I don't know. But, I mean, I'm assuming that they caught the killer red-handed, so to speak, covered in blood. Why were they there then, though? This seems weird. What exactly has my client been charged with? Your client, Carlos Baker Flat, was arrested on the scene at 9:50 p.m. Using his middle name already, they really do think he's a serial killer. The charge being the first-degree murder of his girlfriend, Miss Diane Dawn. First degree? That's increasingly rare, to say the least. It's rare for us to get handed anything but crimes of passion around here. City's got damn near more cameras than people, so you gotta be really, really stupid to try and get away with murder. Well, Hartbrook's gotten away with it 6 times, so what's that make him? 5 times, and that makes him insane. I was gonna go with extraordinary. That's what the difference to say he's extraordinarily insane. But nut jobs like that aren't renowned for their ability to think ahead, so it makes you think that this was premeditated. How about the fact that he stalked and killed 5 other women as a warm-up? So, wait, what? No. Your argument is that he stalked and killed 5 other women as a warm-up to kill his girlfriend? A warm-up? 5 previous bullets, 5 previous victims. None of them knew each other, lived near each other, and worked in the same fields. Weeks of digital autopsies crawling up and down their online profiles. Nothing. So the serial killer chooses his victims at random? If they have nothing in common. Yeah, nothing in common at all. Other than that they look like cousins. What? The physical similarities are striking. All 5 prior victims were young women with brown hair and eyes, about the same height, comparable weight. Well, those features aren't exactly uncommon. Couldn't it be a coincidence? If you really believe that, you should quit your job and start buying lotto tickets. HK's got himself a type. Anyone can see that. You really gonna try to tell me you don't see the resemblance? The young woman. Brown hair, brown eyes. Can't tell how tall she is in the portrait, but I can take a hint. So you think what exactly? That Carlos Lat wanted to kill his girlfriend so bad he went out and shot 5 other women first? Hey, if the shoe fits. If the shoe fits? Then you put the shoe on the... What? What Sunshine means is that it's not uncommon for killers to displace their violence from people close to them onto outlets with fewer consequences. Drifters, loners, strangers, workers. He was probably building up the nerve to tonight by practicing on these other similar women. Or he's just so far gone that he can't tell the difference anymore. If the shoe fits him buying it, you know, if shoes fit me. I mean, that is an immediate way to get me to like think about buying the shoe is if it fits, yeah. To be fair, that is what the DC sniper did. Killed a bunch of related people to obscure the murder of his wife, girlfriend. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I love her so much. Such a girl failure. It's not the worst theory in the world, but it doesn't fit. They want to claim that those previous victims were practice runs, dress rehearsals for tonight's main event. If that the case, there'd have been signs of hesitation, nerves. There'd have been mistakes. On top of which, guns are impersonal. Execution shots, even more so. There's no sadism or hatred or intimacy in a single bullet to the heart. Killing her girlfriend or her lookalikes usually is, if nothing else, a lot less sterile. If you ask me... Hello? Hello? What is... Okay. Interesting. That was a bit of a cutaway, yeah. Alright. Let me take a detour for this one and then I'll ask the other two. Wait, what does she know about killing girlfriends? By the way, I couldn't help but notice that you're light on staff. It's 3 in the morning. What were you expecting, a parade? I thought there'd at least be a few androids around. Aren't many androids in any police station this week. Not while the brass is renegotiating contracts. Contracts with Noble? Good guess. Hardly. They're the biggest... Hardly! They're the biggest robotic corp there is. Could spend all day in the city without ever leaving their office shadow. Yes, we're very fortunate to have them headquartered here. It saves us some money on shipping, at least. But these talks never last that long. I'm sure they'll be back to writing checks for Noble ads by the end of the month. Even Noble pushing for this warm androids. Warm. Ugh. Might as well call it the adult line. Might see them in the bigger departments or out on patrol, but not around these offices. Warm or cold, there's no such thing as an android detective. Yet. No, we're not at the Connor stage yet. You need it, yeah, you need it now. I'm the android sent from... Oh shit, what was it called? Dynalife? No, that's not right. Yet? You really think that'll happen? We're already at use ads. We're patrolling, securing the scene, and pacifying crowds. Doesn't seem like that big a stretch to me. You're joking, right? Android detectives? With all the pain we go through to getting witnesses to talk to us? With your warm personality, I can't imagine it. Hi, I'm Cyberlife, thank you. Hi, I'm Connor, the android sent by Cyberlife. Thank you, thank you. A cop knocks on your door, starts asking questions. You're gonna be put in a bad mood. An ad knocks on your door, it calls you a degenerate criminal in a synthesized voice loud enough for the whole neighborhood to hear. You're gonna start posting shit that that'll get you put on a list. Well, you certainly don't want that. But flesh, blood, and witnesses are becoming less and less common anyway. Cameras, sensors, satellites. We already got all the fax and machines. Get a few more years, I'm sure it'll make sense to let machines do the investigating too. The police union wouldn't let that happen. She needn't have specified. It's the only real union there is anymore. I saw the time of death was 9 p.m. on the autopsy, but do you have a timeline for the rest of the night's events? Can't trust much of what comes out of his mouth, but we've managed thanks to the less biased sources, and we're pretty confident about what we've been able to piece together from the statements. So they interviewed witnesses. Sounds eerily similar to real police work. Whoa, wow, they're like almost doing something. The suspect and his girlfriend were arguing loudly with one another starting around 8 p.m. Neighbors were very clear about that part. Couldn't wait to tell us all about the happy couple's domestic problems. Everyone in the building knew they'd been fighting for weeks. As you probably gathered from what you saw in the 8 arcs, there was a struggle. Furniture turned over, glass shattered. But things go quiet sometime before 9 p.m. And then there's a gunshot. Scrubbers are still scrubbing. Looking for audio from the area to get a timestamp. Is scrubbing like net scrubbing? Yeah. Wow, there's a lot of information woven in here. Holy shit. Senator Bancroft positioned it as a key pillar of his party's law and order platform, but polling syndicated voters rarely held a strong opinion on the process, and the topic has since faded from political discourse. IoT, Internet of Things, phones, computers, One of the coolest ways that IoT improves our lives is through usage of crumbs, small packets of data containing your unique identifying information, like cookies. Through your everyday as your own IoT devices say hi to other devices. Oh, I see. It's like a concept like cookies. But like, I guess handshaking that your devices do as they come in contact. Oh, wait, also wait, her eye patch is gone. Oh, wait, I didn't even notice that. Wow, I really should have been looking more at this and not at the text. Not interested in sponsor search results? Oh, fuck. Yeah, the world building here is massive. It feels like these are Dark Souls kind of item descriptions of like, here's the description of the item. Here's some lore related to it. But yeah, sorry, I totally didn't even look up enough to notice, but Reyes is like projecting this screen from her robot eye. Look at that. Hi, Desbo. Hi, Bo. How's it going? I said too many games a few weeks ago, and I got to play the demo there. That sold me in this game. Yeah, I'm already really sold on this. This is really cool. And the iPad is back. Yeah, interesting. But we heard enough from enough concerned citizens to be pretty damn sure at the time. Right, emergency services got a burst of calls from the block shortly after 9 p.m. No one seemed to recognize the sound for what it was, but the silence that followed it was pretty universally alarming. Officers arrive at the street at 9:08 to establish a perimeter entrance to the open door at 9:10, and then they find your client crouched over his dead girlfriend, his hand covered in her blood. At which point they move to secure the scene and says the suspect. Or so, from the point in time of death, there was 10 minutes before they found the victim and the suspect. Bionicle eye. Looking for my Ace Attorney Danganronpa fix, and this was it. Fortunately, episodic is not a good idea for me to play until it's all done. Yeah, I understand waiting for that, but yeah, no, I'm immediately really I'm into this. This is my shit. Sorry, did you say his hand singular? Your client's modded cybernetic red arm. How modded are we talking about here? Registered with HAO 85 habilis. Industrial grade looks like. Says he's spec'd for dexterous manipulation of up to class 4 KPA, which means a minimum grip strength of, well, basically, he could crush your neck without even gritting his teeth. Then why'd you shoot a gun? Considering a career change? No, it's not that. It's just your eye must be very sensitive for you to put the eye patch back on each time. And here I thought you just had a 14-year-old sense of fashion. You think a cop would cover up her dominant eye because it was fashionable? I actually thought the same thing the first time we met. Good night, Lunwin. Good night, good night. Thank you. I'm glad that you liked it. I'm glad it was liked. Sleep well. You what? But we're getting back on track. The arm of his has been in the shop for some time now. He can't work without it. When he's got that. Okay. He didn't have the arm on him. The arguing? Yep. When did he put his arm in for repairs? 8 days before HK's first victim was killed. Well, no chance to be willing to chalk up to coincidence. Thank you. Your client was arrested on the scene after a preliminary scan found his fingerprints on the revolver. And no one else's. Oof. A revolver? What kind? The old kind. The real kind. More specifically, a Calver M54, 6-chambered, 10 millimeter. Calver? How retro. Wow, there's so much stuff we're getting. From 2031 to 2062, put up by Thoratec, a subsidiary of the Lockwood Defense Corporation.
Deep freeze.
Meow. Welcome back. You don't know the half of it. We're talking steel chamber, real gunpowder, mechanical firing pin, and no tags. No tags. How is that? Just how old are we talking here? Yep. 24/7 location data, timestamp, trigger pulls, safeties coded into owner biometrics. For the past 3 decades, tags have made shooting crimes very unambiguous. So you're claiming my client used some kind of antique to commit these crimes? How else do you think he'd gotten away with this 5 other times? He tried to buy a gun legit. He probably failed the very first psych check. And even jailbroken pieces are only good for so long before an update withdrawal sets in. Update withdrawal? Did I just read update withdrawal? Does your gun have update withdrawal? Are you not getting the latest updates for your weapon of choice? Hi, Kedcast. Welcome in. Welcome. Yeah. Yeah, we stream pretty regularly, actually. 3 days a week now we manage. Thank you for watching our videos. I'm glad that you like them. Are we doing well tonight? So then M54, that's model year 54. A 30-year-old gun. Well, that sure complicates things, doesn't it? In some ways, sure. But pre-tagging firearms are rare. Gotta be less than 1,000 of them and left in the whole country, and even fewer still compatible bullets. The ammunition would have to be over 30 years old too. The novelty of this weapon has kept us in the dark so far. But now that we have it in our hands, it's gonna put him away for good. Huh? Archive departments complained loud as hell about how deep they had to dig. But with protocols they found, the techs were able to match the rifle markings on all 6 bullets to the gun your client was trying to— oh, fuck. Rifle markings? Bullets fired from guns that are that old are marked by the barrel shape. So if all 6 bullets had the same rifle markings, we know that they were all fired by the same gun. It's not as plug and play as tags are, but it's equally precise science, I assure you. And if it's not damning enough, the spent casings in the other 5 shootings were still in the chamber, without even needing to reload. The caliber your client was found with is the gun HK used to kill 6 women. No way to lawyer around that. An untagged gun, just being anywhere near a weapon like that could warrant your arrest. Being found by the police over a dead body with an untagged gun used at 5 other crime scenes is just— yeah, that's all— that's not very good. No. I would say that's maybe— thank you. I would say that's maybe a bad. And hi, Jules. Welcome in. To summarize then, you believe that my client fought verbally, then physically with his girlfriend, and then he retrieved this weapon and shot her. Yeah, pretty much. How did he look when the officer found him? Guilty. That's not— fucking— what do you mean? How was his affect? Quiet, detached, stiff. Not exactly the picture of a grieving partner. That reaction may have lost some points with the cops, but beyond that, people react to loss in all kinds of unusual ways. And so long as the police are suspicious of you, there's no right way to grieve. Yeah, not making this easy. Because, like, assuming he's not the killer, a scenario that could play out would be, well, that somebody else killed his girlfriend and framed him for it. And possibly, like, he was aware, he must have been aware of the framing, and he must have been aware that, like he had 10 minutes to get away or do anything, and he didn't. Which means that and he seemed to, like, just accept it. Like, he didn't try to escape or whatever, so. Spaghetti pasta? Sorry. No, not over spaghetti pasta. Up to not calling himself calling the cops, yeah. Like, that, I could imagine that kind of, oh, garlic bread sounds nice, yeah. I can imagine that kind of response if you know you've just been framed, you know that cops are already called, and there's nothing you can do about it. That any attempt to, like, to hide things or get away is just gonna make it worse for you. And so you are just feeling helpless and defeated, and you just take it, right? Checking my phone here, and I have to say, you did a pretty admirable job keeping the details of HK's crimes a secret. Hey there! Looks like you're trying to search a term related to an ongoing investigation. Until authorities have been made their findings public, results may be heavily curated or temporarily unavailable. Please read more about how we cooperate with authorities to combat disinformation here. So we actually couldn't search for that. Interesting. The less reputable sites are doing some real journalistic acrobats trying to piece together a story. Yeah, top 11 theories who hurt HK was a real way to read. It's not just journalists, though. All kinds have been emboldened. The freaks that HK's managed to bring out of the woodwork in just a few weeks. Can you blame them, though? I mean, he's a genuine serial killer. Repeat offenders in general are endangered species, but he's gotten away with. We know what he's gotten away with. Take a look around us, detective. National DNA registries are robust enough that cases never go cold. Cameras on every street, a phone on every citizen, violent crime at an all-time low, and clearance rates at an all-time high. What? You're gonna spout some alt-pol bullshit about invasion of privacy? No, I'm not. People are safer now than at any other time in history, detectives. So when someone like Heartbreak does come along... Good point. Len is trying to look like he can laugh it off, but pressure from the higher-ups must be really reaching its peak. They want, maybe need, to see someone charged, and that makes them predictable. Hello? Hmm. Hmm. That's what I'm getting this. I'm wondering, like, fuck. The nice voice in her hands is making some good points. You know, I was thinking that too. Like, yeah, it does make them predictable. It does. Indeed. Where was the other one of that? It was like way back over here, right? Makes them predictable. Maybe it's gone now. Even if there's nothing standard about HK, Department SOP still dictates we starve the media for case details. That way, when we do feed them, they're grateful for whatever scoops they get. But we can't take all the credit this time around. Homicide is tight-knit and tight-lipped, but it's not like there's much information for us to leak in the first place. And why is that? Because none of the shootings were caught on the opt-in crime surveillance system. How is that even possible? Optics is frequently cited in state reports as one of the most effective tools for reducing crime. Precision optics often serves as key evidence in criminal proceedings where it is considered admissible default. People versus Erawan. We see to measure an area, daily security level. The way they're setting those up, those shots, make me feel like their camera observing the scene. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I wanted to go back and look at them because like it looked like it was a top-down view of the scene. Well, but then, so one possibility is that Morgan actually is the killer, and if that were the case, she intentionally framed this person. And so the way this case is going to go, probably she's going to want to find a guilty verdict. And like all of this is basically set up to have the blame placed elsewhere. But I mean, we might not be. Because the other explanation or the other idea there could be like that. No, I'm not saying Morgan's the killer. I'm saying like if that is the case, but there could be another explanation of just like, what if Morgan either was a serial killer in the past or just has kind of some aptitude for that, so thinks about like in thinking about crimes and like processing like what people do, she's like approaching things and I guess like she's doing a Dexter, right? So that could be more her serial killer tendency, like showing in some way, or like thinking, I guess. I don't know. Those are my two thoughts. I know that there are some rough areas in lower wards, but Optics is watching every other street in the entire city. You're saying you haven't seen this killer on camera once? She could also have a history of learning about them, yeah. I mean, that idea of like, oh, well, to catch a killer, or like a killer themselves is suited to be able to catch a killer, or like catch a killer gotta be a killer, I guess. Like some level of that, whatever the right way to word that is. That's like a somewhat common trope in media. They even showed up in Fringe, or I think it showed up in Fringe a couple times. Do you think we'd have let him kill 6 people if we did? I understand your concern, man, but Optics is only what it says in the name. It's a private surveillance system signing up to feed into the state's security network. It's not perfect, just another one of those many public safety tools in our bat. It's not meant to be perfect. It's meant to help us solve crimes, or at least act as a deterrent. One would hope so. Fat chance deterrents are for war rooms and board meetings. Anyone crazy or desperate enough to commit a crime in a city like this couldn't care less about anything as vague as the consequences of their actions. It's like a safety blanket, one with very few holes left in it, but it does have holes. Patching up those remaining holes takes effort, and that effort usually means rebooting the system. There's all kinds of technical details and digital bureaucracy involved, but the end result is there are occasionally localized blackouts, and the math used to schedule them is not impossible to predict. Oh, I see. This also has like some Psycho-Pass vibes with the whole Psycho-Pass system on that level. But those windows of opportunity are small and short. Taking advantage of them requires specific knowledge. You need to be involved in law enforcement, pub data, or city planning. They'd have mentioned if my client was a cop, and he wouldn't have needed a public defender either. Charles says he's modded for heavy mass manipulation, not tech interfacing. That just leaves city planning. So does he work construction for the city? HK's only ever struck at times at locations where Optics would be known, even with the devil's own luck. Interesting use of words here. It can't possibly be a coincidence. Wait, so you're saying when this woman was killed, yeah, there was a blackout from around 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. tonight? Right on the schedule, so to speak. And it included the area surrounding the victim's apartment, but then implies it wasn't just meditated on an argument, though. That means that it wasn't planned, or it's because that means it was planned, whereas an argument would be something that happens in a moment. Well, what about DNA from the other crime scenes? Is my client a match? There's been no blood, no saliva, no suspect DNA at any of the crime scenes. No footage and no forensics. Also, no motives, tampering, or witnesses. Been like hunting a damn ghost. We didn't even have a murder weapon. Until now. Finally, lucky break for the boys in blue. Scanners, cannons, drones, forensics. No matter how you dress it up in attack, all detective work relies on one basic assumption. People make mistakes. Yeah, actually true. Even the thing I was talking about before, like earlier about academic fraud. People who like lie, fudge data, make up data, lie about experiments, and get away with it for years.
Yes, yes.
Well, the reason they get caught is because they get sloppy and they make mistakes, which means that there definitely would be reasonably a lot more people out there and a lot of more researchers out there that get away with it and don't get caught because they don't get sloppy with it. Always like there's something that happened at Canadian University was a big researcher, like a really like prestigious researcher, like an up and coming, like named like Canada's like, or named in the Canada Chair 50 whatever for like top researchers, got some prestigious award from like federal government basically. He was like, like a rock star in this and was making a lot of papers and do a lot of things. And the reason he got caught was because he was sloppy enough in some of his data that like somebody started, like one of his colleagues or somebody he worked with started looking at his data and started realizing that like, no, this can't possibly be like right. Like I think like, and was bold enough to like start to really pick apart and question what they were doing. But and then found actually there were a bunch of mistakes that a lot of people just had not seen. That some of the Excel spreadsheets that this guy had uploaded in like sharing his data had the like Excel equations to generate the data that was fake. Like there was like, oh yeah, the effect here, there's an equation here to like take group A and add like this amount randomized to group B to make group B have a big, like a change in effect. Like some of it was really sloppy. I think teachers can be bad people. I bring you Jordan Peterson. Yes. Got it. That, anyways, I have an ad break, so I'll be for the ad break. But yeah, a lot of times people make, like people are caught because they get sloppy and make mistakes. Leaving your fake data equation in Excel spreadsheet. Yeah, no, that is real. I mean, I'll say who it is if anybody's curious. It's Jonathan Pruitt. That's probably enough information to like go and find and hear what the whole like it was an animal researcher person who she studied spiders and social spiders. There was a huge like big effort in the animal behavior realm, like going through and looking at every single publication and every data set they could to determine how legitimate each thing was. And there was a big Google Doc, and it was a lot of papers that were like put into question. All right. Yeah, you know who that is? Yeah. That is that story. And the reason he was caught is because he got sloppy. Anyways, you're back. One last note about the whole Jonathan Pruitt thing and debacle.
Wow.
Yeah, after getting ousted for fraud, he he self-published a fantasy novel. So like, he went from writing fiction and science to writing fiction and fiction writing, and yeah, it's like could have saved time by just starting there instead of wasting time in research. But like, it's not also just that he wasted his time, but he wasted and ruined a lot of people's careers around it. Because like, think of how many this person was publishing so many papers. Well, involved in so many projects. Think of any like graduate student who worked with him or his work was like done with him as a publisher, or like was as a collaborator, not publisher, as a collaborator, or like a fellow researcher, right? Like all of those like people who like maybe did the dissertation on something that was related to his work, or that like maybe he was like actually a supervisor for, and now their dissertation work is found like, oh, by the way, your supervisor faked all your data, so actually your dissertation is like just it was wrong, and is based on fake data. Like so many people, what he would do is like you were basically just chatting. He was very chatty, like or like, very social and chatted with people. And anytime that, or a lot of times that there would be like somebody who had an idea of like, oh yeah, I would love to do this kind of study with spiders. You'd be like, yeah, I have a lab that does social spiders. Like, let's do it. Let's do the study. Let's collaborate. And he would just kind of go. They would like come up with an experiment. He would come up with an experiment idea, or with the person, and formulate all that, and then he would go and he would just do it. And then he would come back and be like, oh yeah, and here's the data that I tried running that experiment we talked about on our when we were chatting about this like whatever effect, and here's the data of the spiders. You want to use that, and then they would make a paper out of that. Stuff like that were then found to be like, well, that's now in question, and potentially, and in many cases was illegitimate. So, or sorry, illegitimate. So it like not only wasted his time, but wasted like so many people's time and energy, and like really like hurt so many people. And in that, like he was taking up he was like such a big name, and he was like getting all these prestigious awards and things. I got a lot of funding for what he's doing. All that funding, all of the attention that he got could have been put onto literally anybody else doing actual work. Like he took away so much opportunity from other people. I came in late into the talk about that guy who was supposedly a scientist but wrote fake stuff about spiders or whatever. Reminded me of the one guy. He posted a video on YouTube that's designed to look like a study on spiders. Was released by the government of Canada. It was about giving spiders drugs, and it gets very ridiculous very quickly. Oh, the that spider, yeah, on like caffeine. Yeah, I remember that. But I've seen that video. Yeah, me too. I remember watching that like a long time ago. Which I think that video is there is like some foundational research that it's like riffing off of, but then it gets really silly. Anyways. And good night, Cricket Whistle. Thank you, thank you. And screw this spreader fraud, man. You take care. Have a good night. Granted, by the time I was out of high school, YouTube was still super new. Yeah, really, right? God. But HK is the kind of monster who doesn't make mistakes. Only reason we caught him tonight was because he finished what he had set out to do all along. All along. All along. Oh my god, okay, sorry. Small tangent. But Violet Pony came out with a new album a couple days ago, or less than a week ago. One of the songs, I swear to fucking god, she uses an audio clip from the Freddie W like sketch with Jordan and Peele of like the Mexican standoff thing where they're all being like, "Oh, I knew you knew all along, all along." Anyways, yeah. So, is my client on the list of suspects before tonight? Weren't you listening? There was no list of suspects. Oh, good night, Lucia. Yeah, I hope you have a good day. Get some good rest if you can. Yeah. Hope your day goes well tomorrow. We questioned some X's, some CIs. Someone even spoke to one or two unlisted at some point. Nothing came of it. There was talk about starting on some kind of psych eval or something, but I never expected to much to come of that. There's just not enough there to work with. In other words, the only thing they could have to link my client to those killings is the murder weapon. If I can jostle that keystone, then the rest of their case should start to come loose as well. Thanks for the chat, detectives. I think I understand the background well enough now. Candidly, I see the same strokes as you do, and the picture it paints isn't pleasant. But even so, it seems a bit unrefined to be brought before a judge, don't you think? Hey, it's only our job to catch the bastard. The DA is the one who gets the conviction. Besides, we're not exactly gonna have to work hard to convict anyone of his guilt. And why is that? Oh my god. Come on. Because we found a handwritten confession at his desk? Are you fucking kidding me? Stop. Stop. Well, that's unexpected. I'm sorry, Knight, you're now telling me that he wrote a confession? Has it been verified? Not yet. We have to muscle past everyone in fraud and disinfo to get to the front of that line. Why bother? The note's covered in his fingerprints. There's a copy in the discovery today, but I should warn you, it doesn't exactly make for light reading. I have to manage somehow. I need to see his confession for myself. Fuck. Yeah, yeah, this guy is fucked. Oh, I have a treat. Thank you. Sorry for everything. Sorry for everything. I can't say it enough. I didn't mean to hurt you or do what I did. Did not want any of this to happen. Can't stay in control when I get mad. I'm not in control when I hurt people without meaning to. I wish I hadn't broken them. Didn't mean to at first. But I was hurting. Wanted you to hurt too, but didn't want to hurt you. Words aren't enough. I know that now. I take responsibility and do what I've been avoiding. Wait, I'll take responsibility and do what I've been avoiding. Please forgive me. He was down an arm. So he would have written it. He would have written this note single-handedly. Also, I wish I hadn't broken them. That could just mean there's stuff in their apartment. You could interpret this all as like him apologizing for breaking some stuff in their apartment. That like he maybe like got mad and like he broke something and stormed out. And maybe he broke something important. Like I wanted you to hurt too, but I didn't want to hurt you. So I destroyed this other thing. Yeah, he would have written this note single-handedly. He would have been in this fight single-handedly or with a single hand and then fired the gun single hand. Yeah, like immediately thinking like the broken mirror on the wall or the mysterious like broken ceramic stuff on in the corner. But God, this is a bad. That was difficult to read. Barely legible, in fact. Well, gotta spin on that. No need. But it's a confession. Not a confession that he signed, though, is it? Not yet. And not one he intends to sign anytime soon, considering that he asked for representation. Yeah, the most wanted man in the city asked for a lawyer and got you. Guess you're both lucky. Hardly. I just happened to be awake when the call went out. But I'm not so flush with work that I can't afford to turn tail now. So if you don't mind, I'd like to go speak with my client. What? He's not still handcuffed in there, is he? Look, counselor, with all due respect, we have strong evidence pointing to that man being responsible for 6 murders. 2 hours or so in handcuffs isn't cruel or unusual. And that's for your safety as well. It's kind of you to worry, but I doubt I'll be in any danger. He's killed 6 women. None of them were redheads, so I'm fine. That's... Seriously, though, I'd like to speak with him alone now. Camera's off, if you don't mind. Huh. Mic's on or off is your call, counselor. But we'll be watching the feed from right outside, in case anything happens. And the cuff that is, stays on. That worried about me? Oh, that's chivalrous. Yeah, my armor is practically blinding. Gross. I stopped the unlock cycle. Counselor, just one last word of advice. If you have any interest in his well-being, I suggest you help him sign that confession. Not a bad idea. I do get paid either way. But the defense part of a defense attorney isn't just a show detective. I mean it. 6 people dead is one thing, but he's also caused weeks of widespread terror and public unrest. Putting it another way, he's made the state look bad. Oh no! Oh no! The state looks bad. Goodness, what are we gonna do? Wow. First we have enthused shareholders, and now, oh, the state looks bad. Well, darn. I guess our hands are tied. That's a capital crime if there ever was one. And even if the death penalty is not actually on the table these days, I can guarantee he's not gonna like whatever rehabilitation plan they draw up for him. Look, I've seen the virtual work release program in person, and it's being challenged before the Supreme Court, and we all know how fucking useful and great the Supreme Court is. Hey there! Due to the ongoing controversy following the suspected suicide of an inmate, Galay, search results for the server being locked. Oh, that's not what I want to see when I search up whatever that thing. Yeah, sometime in the next decade, maybe. Just remember, a plea deal might feel like a loss for you, but it keeps him from, well, that's probably a win for your client, right? Prison sentences are generally lighter for those who plead guilty. That much is true. It saves the court a great deal of time and money, and they show their gratitude with reduced sentencing. But no one will ever be grateful towards the heartbreak killer. No one convicted for killing 6 people. They'll never rest their mind another day for their life. Oh, this is so interesting. Hi, Elsa. Doing my best to take cool. It's depressing as hell in here. They need to liven up this place. What did they say nowadays? Like, she has aura? She just has like so much aura around her? Color slat, right? The money shot for Sapphics. I know, immediately like, damn. I hope you don't mind if I get comfortable. Oh, we've got a lot to cover, but they shouldn't take all night. What are you? Look, I already told you people I'm not a cop, Carlos. Furthest thing from it. I'm a lawyer. You're a liar, in fact. And I'm here to help you. Yeah, well, they said that too. All of them did. Back there and here, kept repeating it the whole ride over. They said that they were going to help me, and that they knew this was all a mistake. They said I killed, acting like they were on my side, and that they thought that I could have. Yeah, that's why you don't talk to cops. That's why you don't talk to cops. Fuck cops. God damn it. I went full pasture for Alice Angel, and for her, my playthrough just saying that it's not their job to help you, Carlos, but it is mine, and I'm here now. He's still in shock. I need more information, but if I approach this the wrong way, he'll just clam up even more. I'm sure you're exhausted. It's probably difficult to think, let alone speak, but I'd like you to try and answer a few questions. The police already questioned you, I'm sure, but they were treating you as a suspect, not as a client. Okay. So, what do you want to know? Tell me about yourself. I want to hear, what are the deeds? Yeah, fuck cops that don't have sex with them. Pretty, yeah. Do you have a warrant? Nah, I want a lawyer. Recently saw this awesome protesting PSA from old Pride Party. Essentially, we're done. Shut the fuck up. Yep. Yes. Yeah. That one. Like, yeah. This happens. I'd like to know a bit more about you first, Carlos. Something like, oh, what line of work are you in? I'm a city engineering. Ah, shit. Yeah, that doesn't help. Ugh. Or I was. I should be. I had thought the police must be convinced he mapped out the optics blackouts using data he stole from work. My arm. I got it slotted for the job. And Carlos, you're gonna need more than that. So what do I know? Works in city engineering, not a desk job. Whereas said he was modded for work, and the arm must be in custody at the moment, but based on his shoulder, I'd have to say it had to be pretty... Based on that shoulder? Oh, I see. That has like... It's not lifelike. Yeah, no, it looks like very obviously a robot arm. Utilitarian, yeah. He doesn't strike me as a type who can he's enamored in aesthetics of modding. Being young and restless and the rich, swapping in neon and chrome limbs because they like the way it looks. Or the way it makes other people start looking at them. No, he's pragmatic, grounded, and very, very unlucky. In which case, I should be too. She's really interesting. She's really interesting. You know, my brother wanted to mod. Really? Really? I don't even have a brother. He had everything planned out. A whole career path of promotions and bonuses and the upgrades he'd afford him. Then came his 18th birthday present. Test results politely informing him that he's not a viable candidate. That sucks. I think he felt relieved, actually. It seemed like it was a weight off his chest. Like he was glad that he didn't have to choose. Does that make any sense? Yeah, I think it does. I always figured I'd start I'd start small, a hand or an eye, test the water. Never thought about locking my whole damn arm off, but the recruiter was enthusiastic. He said because of NCDA there was a financial aid and resources. Of course, that got shit canned, so now me and every other modder is royally screwed. Couldn't even let me keep the tax credit. The New Citizens with Disabilities Act was amended, not repealed, but I doubt he'd appreciate the distinction at the moment. I worked at tighter spaces, the high volt environments, mostly canopy upkeep. Typical stuff for modders, you know. He's freaking freely now. Don't need to do much more than repeat his words back to him to keep him talking. She's really interesting. But the right word choice here or there can still make a difference. Your work on canopy, you must be under a lot of pressure because of the work on what's been going on with the canopy stuff lately. Yeah. You must be under a lot of pressure now that the subways are cordoned off. Damn straight. And with crap this crap with Long. Once word got out the case against him was real, every desk job in the chain became terrified of their own shadow. All of them convinced that internal affairs is going to come knocking if they were misplaced so much as a paperclip. Everything by the book means no room for compromise, no room for problem solving, no room for engineering. Yeah. And no patience for screw-ups. He's trying really hard not to look at his shoulder. Why aren't you wearing your prosthetic right now, Carlos? Yeah, that. Rejection issues starting last month. A lot of sleepless nights. Rejection? Did the therapy not take? I don't like that. I wasn't oozing pus out of my sockets or anything. Then, do these rejection issues have anything to do with your scars? Not in the way you're thinking. Huh? I'm right-handed. How did he do any of this? How did he shoot the gun? So those cuts on his face are just from shaving? Never thought I'd go this would go on so long that I had to relearn how to do everything. I mean, the problem started small, trembling, but then spasms. Just oversensitive, they said. An easy fix. But the problem got bigger. Couldn't let it get that far. Need to be able to trust your own hands when you're on the job site. Drop a cutter at the wrong moment, and people can get hurt. So I sat down, made an appointment, turned in my arm, and watched my case get replaced at the back of the damn line. Where did you turn it in? Some mass turnaround chop shop with a waiting list like you wouldn't. It doesn't sound like you're a happy customer. Yeah. So literally, so he only had his left hand this whole time. And he's so, like, not used to using his left hand because he's right-handed that he's cutting himself shaving. There's no way he fired that gun. Yeah. Yeah. Hell no. I'd found a dozen other clinics with shorter wait times. But as long as I'm renting and not owning, the manufacturer decides where your arm gets maintenance. And that's why I'm sitting here with this expensive ass stump for a shoulder. Haven't been able to work in weeks. Bosses were generous enough to say my position might still be there when I've got 2 working arms again. You couldn't buy or rent a replacement yourself just in the meantime? I serve at the pleasure of the state. And they've got exclusivity contracts with Hindi all locked up white knuckle tight. Hindi? Heyo Industries? As I recall, you registered with one of their Habilis models. We're a leading research for prosthetics, yeah. And we're hiring. We're seeking motivated and passionate archivists, programmers. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I just want to... Stuff gives me ads every time I want to look something up. Yeah, not with pinpoint accuracy, yeah. That also means, though, that he likely did write that letter. If it was hardly legible, that would explain, like, he had trouble writing it. But he probably didn't fire the gun. If I took one step on site with an uninsured tech, forget the fines. I'd lose down the payment. I'd lose the down payment and my arm. And I'd never work for the city again. If this was like last quarter, maybe I could have worked something out with my manager, but like I said, no one's sticking their neck out for anyone now that longs in deep shit, hot shit. You mentioned discomfort. Are you in pain? Pain will come and go. It's the itches that'll kill you. And the phantoms come back pretty fast when I don't have anything. Yeah, I can imagine that. Arm shaped attached to me. Didn't they give you something to, well, wear in the meantime? Something the clinics lend out for cases like this? What they gave me was a dead weight 3-jointed landfill bait piece of shit. Sorry, it's a very shitty feeling having a part of your body that you know they cut corners on. Yeah, it fits. It's compatible technically. It can slot in and feel on balance again, but the fingers don't even bend, and the quick twitch motors are way off. Okay, so even with his replacement arm, he can't fire a gun or do anything with that arm. It's like walking around with your arm asleep or dead. So you were wearing it when you were arrested? Is the nice, like, I think we're avoiding re-traumatizing him. We're keeping him kind of, you know. Were you wearing it when you were arrested? No, I wasn't. But I'm pretty sure I saw the police bagging it as evidence, so can't have gotten too far. Selective Reyes was being quite literal about how he was found. He had the victim's blood on his left arm only because at the time in question, he didn't even have a right. No inconsistencies on this story so far, and he's open up about his as well as he can be expected. But this has just been my warm-up for both of us. Now comes the delicate part. What's the text here? I want to read that text. I'll look back at the stream after. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Zoe, like how much attention that Morgan is putting into the emotional state of the other person. I'm thinking that like the pathways here come along like we can like agitate them and then get them to climb up, or we can basically like be careful. Kind and careful. Carlos, you and the victim were romantically involved. How long did you two know each other? Right. I've known her since college. We shared a few classes, some mutual friends. Always got along. Eventually we just got together at some point. Guess I never actually asked her out the real formal way. Sounds pretty cowardly saying that out loud. Diane, she's She was in genetics, focused her studies in agriculture. It always takes them a few tries to get used to using past tense. Just finished her post-grad work this year. Got hired right out of the gate. Practically headhunted. Can you believe that? Practically headhunted. Of course she was. Any company would be lucky to have her, and like, it was a real ass job. Paid real ass money too. So her career is starting to pan out, right as yours had fallen into the mother of all slumps. Where was she hired? Pedigree? No, Pedigree Laboratories. I say that like the name matters. The whole setup's under Harco's umbrella. That doesn't narrow it down. A Harvest Corporation grows a third of the soybeans and corn in the entire country. One client that size, lab wouldn't need any others. No corporation earns the mega prefix without a little throat cutting, but Harco is about as tame as big business can get. Predictable like seasons. No one's gonna buy that they had some lab tech murder because of corporate greed. Has she adjusted well to her new job? That's interesting. Yeah, they loved having her there. Should have I mentioned arguments or disputes? Corporate politics getting rough? I don't think so. Not like I've ever been a good listener lately. But I never got the impression that she... Look, no one I know could have done this to her. And there's nothing she could have done that would have deserved what happened to her. It was a long shot, hoping for a disgruntled character from her past to shift blame onto. But with no other suspects, I can't just reshuffle the detective's suspicions. I'll have to disprove their argument entirely. Oh yeah, good luck, Zelda. Good luck. Thank you, Carlos. That was very helpful. It was. Now I'd like you to try to tell me whatever you can about what happened tonight. Oh. Yeah. Start at the beginning and take your time. The details are important. All right, Miss, Morgan. I'll try Morgan. When you're ready. We were arguing. We had been arguing a lot lately. Arguing about stupid stuff. I haven't been working. I haven't been making money. I haven't been pulling my weight. I was mad at myself. But more than that, I was jealous of her. Jealous over nothing. Jealous of her goddamn money. The reports say you were arguing around 8 p.m.? 8? Yeah, it must have been when we started. We got into it and I said a lot of things I shouldn't have. I said one thing that really I shouldn't have. I crossed the line and we both knew it. So I left. There it is. You left? Yeah, I walked out the front door. Thought some fresh air might help me cool off. And the whole optics thing was, or the surveillance system was shut off for this hour, so there would also be no evidence of him leaving. Yeah, this sucks. Sorry, bro. You're some deep shit. Help me figure out what to say to make up to her. Corsair wasn't fresh, just humid, thick like mud. And while I was pissing away the time, Diane was... Meow. Oh yeah, I got it so bad, fuck. Did you bring your phone with you or any other electronics? No. I think I should kind of start... Ow! I just kind of stormed off. Didn't even take my key fobs. Didn't even lock the door behind me. Oh. With optics down, traffic and street level cameras won't help him. That leaves... Did you go through a checkpoint or talk to anyone with modded eyes? Did you buy anything, cash or credit? No, not even a vending machine. Not even a damn vending machine, huh? I may have hit my match. How could anyone be this unlucky? That's quite unfortunate. I just wanted quiet at the time. I wanted to wallow in it, really. Sorry if I don't have all the details quite right. My head is, but if my exact route would help, the cam's probably... What? What is it? Optics was what? Can that even happen? Oh. Poor kid. And there's no other proof that you were out at the time Dan was killed. Meaning you've got no alibi. No, this can't. Listen, I didn't do this. I couldn't. Carlos, I'm the one person you don't have to try to convince. After all, I'm your lawyer. So let's just get it all out there and see what we've got to work with. Right, yeah. Now, you said you left to clear your head. So what made you come back? I came back because I heard a noise. A loud noise. Didn't know what it was, but it was loud and it scared me. And it came from the direction of our apartment. I was walking back at first, but at some point I must have started running because when I got back I was so out of breath. And when I saw that the front door is open, something dropped in my chest and my lungs wouldn't. You live on the first floor, right? Yeah, first floor apartment. Street facing entrance. Yeah, it would have been the gunshot. We were proud of that when we first moved in. Like it was some kind of big deal. From the hallway, I saw her, but I didn't realize. I never thought that she was. Lights were off, the whole room was a mess. I thought we had been robbed, or she'd fallen, or there was broken glass. Oh, so wait, so he didn't do any of the toss over then. They just had a verbal argument and then he walked away. Oh no, your Wi-Fi. Oh. I will make sure this VOD is saved. If your internet cuts out or whatever. And she was. I called my name and she didn't move. I checked her pulse and she was still warm. Her blood was warm. And I saw the gun. Or the gun. It looked so heavy, but I thought it had to be fake because I didn't want it to be real. Is that why you picked it up? Oh. What? Picked it up? I didn't touch that thing. Huh? I didn't shoot her, damn it. Doing what I do, you hear a lot of lies. White lies, blatant lies, hasty lies, bad lies especially. For me, it's always been easy to spot a lie. But it can be hard to know what to do about it. I have all the proof I need in my files, but he's nervous and defensive. And none of this works if he doesn't trust me. Stay up to date on the details of all evidence by checking your phone. If your client notices that you don't know what you're talking about, they'll stop giving you any credit. Oh, here, the pillow organizer. Oh, we can look at this again. Yeah, Tuesday's the one that's open. Surprisingly difficult to open. Revolver. Bears fingerprints matching Carlos Baker Flat's left hand with 99.91% certainty. Roughly marks match the bullet, which pierced the victim with 99.97% certainty. Roughly marks match the bullet from previous heartbreak killings with 99.98% certainty. No matches to any other archive forensic data as far as back as 2051. So we're like pretty certain that he touched the gun. Also, this reminds me of a scene from Burn Notice, I think. I think it's from Burn Notice when Michael is like trying to like I guess like create some blackmail for somebody by like incriminating them with some evidence. To be like, you know, like, yeah, fingerprints in a gun is one thing, and that's hard to explain. Fingerprints found on the inside of the gun, like you took it apart and you're dismantling it. Try to like get around explaining that, as he had like some person tied up and he like just like got their hand onto like the dismantled gun. I love Burn Notice. Burn Notice is great. Yo, shout out to Burn Notice. I haven't thought of that show in a while, right? Y'all are great. I'm glad that hear that Burn Notice is still appreciated. It was a great show. It was a really good show. You did touch the gun, Carlos. That's just a fact because It's a fact your fingerprints are on that gun. What? But I didn't do this. I wasn't thinking. I was just... Carlos, all I'm saying is that you picked it up. That's all. Would you believe me if I said I didn't realize it was a gun? That explains Ira's print calling the guns. Yeah, so he's lying. Yes, the very beginning, the monologue in the bathroom is great. No, I think like the ending seasons, I remember getting or feeling like more and more tired. I do remember really liking the last episode where they did that, like the last hurrah, and like I don't know, just like it was just nice. Oh my fucking god, I forgot about Psych. Oh, I haven't thought of Psych in a long time. Oh yeah, Psych. Wow. That's a pull for me. Yeah, that was a comfort show for me. Sky and I were rewatching Fringe these last couple weeks. And we're on last season. We should actually finish last season probably still. But Fringe had been really fun to go back to and watch. Okay. I'm gonna make sure I grab Psych to watch. That'd be fun to rewatch. But not in a way we're satisfied, please. Still, if all I did was hold the gun. It's so stupid. I know what a gun looks like. But seeing it in my own home, right in front of... You were in shock, Carlos. You still are. The police came in sometime after that. I don't remember much of what they were said. Things started moving fast, it seemed like. The rest of my night went probably the way you expect. Like, has a pineapple hidden in every episode. It really adds to the rewatchability. Yeah, right. I remember that. Okay, yeah, I need to rewatch Psych. Carlos, you admit to having a verbal argument with Diane, but you said that you were surprised to see the room trash when you got back. To clarify, you were saying that you two never had a physical fight. What? Physical? No, we never fought. We never fought like that. Did the police say that we did? They assumed as much. Which means they also assumed the room was disheveled well before the shooting occurred. Considering what Carlos has told me, what else did they assume? What is it? I'd like to take a look at something for me. The crime scene. Oh. It's an AR module built from data taken as the police entered, so... Right, it's just that... It's just data, Carlos. No grisly details. Okay. Let me see it. Take your time. All right, I think I've got it. That's how the police found things. Now close your eyes and think back to how the room looked before you when you left. Try and focus on what's out of place. All right. I'll take notes. You just say whatever comes to mind. I don't remember exactly where everything was. But, well, the mirror is upright, of course. And that clock was still on the wall. The chair got knocked over at some point, the bed got tossed, the cushions torn, and the urn fell. Other than that... no, sorry, that's all that stands out to me. I see. Like so? What's wrong? Something out of place? Hello, so you need to trust your instinct. If anything seems off, you don't need to be afraid to speak up. No, it's just, I guess I assumed your notes would be making edits to the AR. Well, I suppose that works too. Sorry, I didn't mean... I think your drawing is pretty good, you know, considering... I'd like to shoot us up now, Carlos. Alright. Let's talk about the letter that was found on your desk. Letter? Oh, that was forged. Yeah, that was forged. Letter, what do you mean? I mean, this letter here. Do you recognize it? Because the police are calling it a confession. A confession? But this is... This is just a note to self. What the fuck? Pardon? Look, when we fight, I lose my tempers. I say things I don't mean to. So this morning, I tried to write things down. So I would have a script stick to. So I could apologize to her instead of just fighting with her. Carlos, you say in the note that you hurt them. That's... I broke her fidget tubbies. How fucking could you? Her what? Her... What? Her fidget tubbies. They're these collectible ceramic character things. They're supposed to be like tactile. Use them as paperweights or conversation starters. Conversation starters. She loved those little things. They're not worth a damn, but you can buy them at any flea market or garage sale, but they meant a lot to her. And I broke them. Collectible and fragile ceramic conversation starters. I see. Yeah, he broke her hyperfixation toys. Jail, send him to jail. I mean, I was pissy at the time, but that goddamn piece of shit rental arm, I hardly know where I'm swinging it half the time. I'm so angry, I just ripped it off and tossed its room. That cheap, dusty, worthless. Okay, let's say he did break her frigid duckies with his replacement arm. What does that change? Nothing at the moment. There's not enough detail in the note for me to prove what his intent was when he sat down to write it. But if the police insist on claiming that's a confession for her, the heartbreak killings in any way, I couldn't even bother to sweep them up. I felt so... Alright, Carlos, thanks for answering my questions. Now, I'm gonna call the police back in here, and I'm gonna get this cleared up for you. What? That's it? That's it! Oh, okay. Although, before I do that, I do have to ask, what do you know about the Heartbreak Killer? Oh, she actually said that, okay. Heartbreak. You mean that psycho that was trending all month? I mean, I don't know, as much as anyone, I guess. I haven't been getting out that much, but I'm sure everyone's on edge. A guy like that out there. He shoots people through the heart, right? The police have kept the victim's appearances far away from any upstream news sources, so unless he was already following the murders, Carlos wouldn't notice any resemblance to his girlfriend. I mean, she was shot in the chest, but that just doesn't mean anything, does it? If he's this slow in the uptake, it's going to be a real shock when those officers walk in here and accuse him of being a serial killer. I'll just have to squash that theory as quickly and as definitively as possible. Or 4 a.m. Yeah, what do you know about the Heartless? Before the police come in, I have to ask, what do you know about the Door to Darkness? Door to Darkness? I didn't realize you could smoke in here. Technically, I can smoke wherever I want. What do you know about Kingdom Hearts? What do you know about the darkness in the heart? The Princess of Heart. What is Xehanort's plan? Who's Sora? Are you Sora? Am I Sora? What do you know of the Keyblades? Tell me. For a fee. Smoking in a non-smoking area. Oh, just paying for a fee. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, Twitch is wired. My Wi-Fi is probably audio only on mobile. Feel free to share the thing I did with everyone if you want to. Wait, yeah, I saw it. I glanced. I should hold on. Wait, what did you do? Oh my. Fucking excuse me, Zoe. Oh, fuck! Now I need this outfit. Now I need to cosplay this. What the hell? What? Hold on, let me. That's, I love that. I love this. This is so cool. You're right. This does need the red hair too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's so damn cool. Immediately, I'm like, okay, can I actually make this cosplay on my model? Can I get an outfit that looks like this for these streams? Ah, shit. That's so... Wow. You did it so fast. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you so much. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I now have a goal for to try to hit on Thursday to see if I can whip together something that looks like this. Feel free to use it if you post a VOD. Aw, thank you. Genuinely, fuck yeah, I will. I absolutely will do that. I was like, oh, that's neat. That is so fast, Zoe. Yeah. Speed doodle. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna put this like... I'll leave this here for when I wanna bring it back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Nervous? Don't be. I'm the one who's on the clock. Right. Yeah, I'm sure this isn't your first time doing this. No, of course not. It will be my first homicide defense, though. Oh. Why does everyone always think the first time's so goddamn important? Hey, cheer up! I've got relevant experience in other areas. Oh. And, what other areas are those? You ever gamble, Carlos? No, ma'am. Never go anywhere near the loot boxes. Good. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, you don't go near those loot boxes. Fuck you up. I won't touch the stuff. I mean, it's more like playing cards. Oh, well then, no to that too. I've actually got pretty terrible luck. Could have fooled me. This man's grinding forklift? Well, what I do is a lot like poker, Carlos. Poker is nice because even if you're dealt nothing but crap all night long, you can still win. Which makes things pretty fun. Okay, so, do you have a good poker face? I like to think so. And are you lucky? Only when the stakes are high. And, in this metaphor, we're playing poker. And the state's the dealer? If only. No, the state's for, like, the house. You mean, like, the house always wins? Yes. They're very good at it. Winning, I mean. That's why they're up there and we're down here. That's why they're the house. Like the oppressiveness of this. So, what do? We play the cards we're dealt and as best we can. Win more hands and we lose. Keep it up and eventually someone will come over, tap the dealer on the shoulder and whisper something in their ear. And then we'll be politely asked to leave. That doesn't sound very triumphant. The house always wins. So our definition of victory is more like don't lose. Hi, Dark Mage. Hey, how's it going? Thank you for the raid. Hi, Raiders. It's nice to see you. I hope you had a good stream. I hope you've been doing well. Hi, Clover. We're playing this game. It's called Of the Devil. Very cool. Oh, you're sick. Aw. I'm sorry to hear. Thanks, Morgan. I guess I was more asking, like, what should I say? Oh, just leave all the talking to me. So that's the strategy. What's up? You know there's a saying about gamblers with strategies. Yo, we're ready to confess yet? Because I already woke up the DA. Already? She must be new. District attorneys have final say on whether or not a case is brought to trial. Only fair since they're the ones who ended up having to actually prove the damn thing. Also, I was going off the smoking sprite from the start. Made getting things done easy. Regardless, I have to go. It's getting rough for my roommate too. Oh, yeah, okay. Bye, Zoe. Thank you for introducing this game. I'm already having a huge laugh with this. And I hope you have a good rest of your night. Thank you for the cute art. Raiders. Zoe drew this while we were playing. Look, this is cute. Also, we have an ad, so I'm gonna BRB for the ad in 30 seconds. And then, oh god, it's like 1:20 a.m. I probably actually should go to bed. I might not finish this first case today anyways. Gosh, if we had an info dump for 4 hours. But also, like, I mean, I'm reading through a lot of things slowly. But I do want to give a lot of this time, and I want to, like, read through everything and see everything. Here, we'll go for a little bit longer. But I will save, and then we'll BRB for Edge. Yeah, I've seen it way too late. Hides. Aw. Thursday, home for Thursday till the 26th. Ooh, okay, cool. Well, yeah, we'll continue on Thursday regardless. I might see if we can go to the next, scene break, and then, go from there. Or, like, pick it up there on Thursday. But yeah, I'll be right back. Hello. Yeah, Luna. I should go to bed, but also you should go to bed. I'm not... We'll wrap it up soon. Let's just see this part play out. But at most, let's give it like another half an hour-ish at most. Hello. Okay. Most of them prefer simple guilty pleas over long, protracted trials, and they all dislike having their time wasted. Unfortunately, then, you'll have to call them back, because my client is not guilty. And frankly, I'm not even sure you have enough to hold him here. Right. What she said. You've got a weird sense of humor, counselor. Different generations, I guess, but for my time kind of thing. I'm very serious when it comes to defending a man's innocence, detective. Counselor, we have your client's written confession. His written confession, let's start there. Okay, well, we'll be happy to. The rest of every argument starts with the facts, what's already known and agreed upon. Public knowledge for every player at the table. It's pretty simple, counselor. Real paint by number stuff. I'll have to, like, make a camera button so I'm small in the corner. We found a note at his apartment with his fingerprints on it, apologizing for how he hurt them all so bad. How are you planning on spinning that? Those are the facts. But I've been building up my hand all night, and now I've got the weapons to answer anything they try to throw at me. Well, my client did write that note. And it was an apology, but not for murder. He was apologizing for... Analyze the facts as they're laid out, and then thumb through the responses in your hand. Drag and drop the card that best answers the argument in the slot on the right. You can mouse over your opponent's portrait for a reminder on what key points you're answering. Wrote a confession. And, sorry, and now that the game has, like, card building aspects to it, sort of. That's cool. Okay. The ceramic, the debris, obviously. Ceramic crap? Because that's what he's apologizing for. He was simply apologizing for this. The hell is that? I found myself asking the exact same question. What are we looking at here? Something from the crime scene? This diagram of the model of the room, it's created from the data you captured, right? Pure, non-GMO, augmented reality crime scene data, yeah. Oh, what's a non-GMO? Not much these days. Notice anything out of place? Yeah, the whole room is full of busted shit. It's the scene of a murder. Full of busted shit. Yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure. Hi, Dylan. Thank you for the sub. Thank you. How do we have his name? It's Balatro. Yeah, we're playing Balatro. Okay, yeah, give his meds some time. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But I was more referring to the unidentified ceramic debris found on the western side of the room. The hell is that? Ceramic debris, huh? Must be from the vase I got tossed. Actually, that's not possible. Oh. Because that vase wasn't damaged. Wasn't here is a fake? I mean, it wasn't damaged. We know it wasn't damaged. It's not possible for that debris to have come from the vase because that vase is still pristine. How is that? How is that possible? The lady at the garage sale told me it was so old and delicate. Damn it. One time I try and thrift shop on my own. Aw. Well, so what? What does it even matter? Wait, sorry. He thrift shops for antiques? Synergic lock. If the vase doesn't have a scratch on it, then the debris must have come from somewhere else. That debris is what my client wrote that apology for over. You're saying that his confession was his apology for not vacuuming? I am, because that pile of rubble is all that remains of the victim's collection of fidget tubbies. What he said. Block. Meh. Mr. Flat broke the victim's ceramic figures by accident, and this impassioned note to self was just his attempt at scripting out an apology. Can he prove that? We're taking this seriously? As much as I wish we weren't. We're all in agreement that my client wrote that note, and we can all clearly see that there are ceramic debris at the crime scene. Now, since it couldn't have come from the vase, it must have come from the collectibles. Simple, right? The hell are you on about? The entire room is trashed, as the arcs clearly shows. Those fidget tubbies must have got pulverized during the struggle, too. You're really gonna claim that he sat down to write an apology for breaking her toys after gunning her down? Not a bad train of thought, but I can do better. No, those collectibles were destroyed much earlier than that. There's proof. Hold on. Because, like, he had thrown this and then got it repaired. Does that count as proof? Right? Like, he had thrown... No, that's not... No, he didn't throw that. He threw... Not that arm. He threw the, this replacement arm that's in police custody. That's what he had thrown. And broke it. This being in shaking handwriting, but that wouldn't make sense for such a fight, so I'm going to put rental. Yeah, rental. Just take a closer look at the rental you took into custody. One swipe of your finger should show exactly how devastating it was to the fickle buddy ecosystem. It's fidget tubbies. Oh, she collects them. Whatever! Come on. You did take into custody, so you're sure your text found ceramic debris on it, yes? Yeah, now that you mention it. Fine, whatever. He broke them with his arm while he was killing her. Happy. Overjoyed, because even a cheap arm has got an operating system that logged the last time it was worn, right? Right. See, I happened to spot a footnote in the lab report said that rental hadn't been used since 8 a.m. Whose side are you on, old man? It's gotten pretty late, sunshine. I'm just trying to save us all some time where I can. Well, thank you for your service. Well, thank you for your service. Are you seriously buying this crap? Just look at how scrawled, how panicked that note is. You're starting to believe that he was upset over some fidget tubby collection. One that hasn't even degraded. Nobody's been crying over ungraded fidget tubbies. Come on. Setting aside Detective Ray's surprising depth of knowledge when it comes to collectibles, you're correct. They hold no real monetary value. It would be odd for Carlos to be so shaken over their loss. But so what? So what? After all, that's not panic you're seeing on that page. No, the only reason that note looks the way it does is because Carlos is right-handed. Yeah, I am. Did they not know that? What? Shouldn't that be on my permanent record or something? So the reason why that note looks like asylum wall scribbles is just because he had to use his left hand to write it. I tend to think better writing than typing. And I need to get used to using my left anyway. I just thought it could be for practice. Taking that note into account alongside the ceramics, your slam dunk confession is looking about as watertight as a fishnet. Okay, fine. Forget about the confession. Congratulations, counselor. You've established that your client's remorselessness. Now let's get back to the reality of the situation. Here are the facts. But the argument that he shot the gun is now defunct because you know that he didn't have his right arm in, and you know that he was left-handed, so he couldn't have made... Like, no, you're done. You're cooked. We found your client at the scene of the crime, wearing a coat covered in the victim's blood, right next to the big old goddamn gun that just so happened to have his fingerprints on it. That's right. That coat is... What, you're gonna claim it's not his? That he actually wears an extra small? Just trying to bait me in her typical low-key fashion. As the argument flows, you won't always have the stronger hand. Sometimes the best you can do is hold your tongue and avoid overcommitting. But lose as little credit as possible while you wait for a more favorable chance. She must have something. No sense playing into it. Something you'd like to ask me, detective? I'm just curious. What'll be next? You gonna tell me that he actually wears an extra small? He doesn't wear an extra small? Oh, interesting. It's actually not gonna let me choose Ray's. But I guess this would be where I... Oh, this is so cool. What the fuck? This is so interesting. Yeah, it's not letting me raise an objection, so... Gee, Carlos, do you? No. Yeah, sure there's no evil twin you've forgotten to mention? No, I'm afraid not. Not even gonna go for a mysterious third party at the scene of the crime? To prove his innocence, I will need to get there eventually. By going there now without hard evidence. Lady just with AK-47. God, the aesthetic of this game is so cool. Maybe it should be like in the middle here. I'll have to find a place where I can be, or put my model where I'm not blocking anything. Well, I don't know. Can I raise now? Because I have no evidence from, or I have no like way to argue right here that I can't prove a third party. Like, the only proof of a third party is the fact that the gun is there at all and that she was shot. But other than that, there's no proof. There in fact, there's like a distinct lack of evidence left at the place of anybody else being there. So I think here, like, that's something we want to get to, but like right now, no, we can't prove that. So I think, no, we can't prove that. Dave's coming. I have no evidence of a third person at this time. Damn right you don't. It's clear as day in the arcs. No evidence of anyone but Carlos being there at that night. So keep dreaming. It was obvious she had something there. I wasn't gonna win that either way. At least I didn't overstep and take any more damage than I had to. We're not contesting any of that, Detective. My client freely admits to holding that gun. He picked it up in confusion after coming home to find a brutal crime scene, which was not smart. Hey. But not illegal either. And that's all? He had her blood all over her clothes. Or his clothes. Yes, he did. Right. Do you have those clothes on hand, by the way? The lab finished with them a while ago. What are you getting at? It'll be easier to just show you. Would you mind getting them for me? Yippee! Jumpy! Losing your hand to spend an opponent's good cards. Yeah, that's... Oh, this, like, going this poker route is so interesting. Ah. You know what? Sure. I could use fresh air. Things of bullshit here anyways. And here I thought that room smelled like... Psst, Morgan. What are you doing? My coat's covered in her blood. I remember that much. So doesn't that like make me look really bad? Oh, just relax, Carlos. I'm pretty sure that's impossible. You're innocent. And that means that having more evidence will always help you, not hurt you. Really? Really? Not really. Plenty of innocent people go to prison. People with bad luck or bad lawyers. People who shouldn't count on the truth to come out easy. More often than not, it takes coaxing. What was that? What was it that reminded me of? All right, here it is. One bloodstained jacket fresh from the lab. So, what's your angle? You gonna tell us this is actually just hot sauce? No. That would be silly. Sheep. Actually thought it over. So, what the hell's your point? Hey. Or, hey. Sorry, I just got thrown up at the turn of good fortune. What good fortune? You should thank the detective for bringing you your jacket, Carlos. She's just proven your innocence. Yeah, left arm marinara. My client was arrested wearing this coat. He would have been wearing it at the time of the murder. It is the victim's blood on it, who we know died when she was shot in the heart by a gun that happens to be an old world pre-tagging firearm. And so the scope proves that he couldn't have been the shooter. Is there a gas leak in here? In what world does that make any sense? Sense happens to be key here. You just need to draw their attention to what they can smell. Yes, what can you smell on the coat with your nose? What can you feel on the coat with your hands? What can you see on the coat with your eyes? Yes, look at the coat. Look at it with your special eyes. Just tell me what you see. I see a sniffer. I see a coat with a lot of dead women blood on it. And you, ooh. And you? Was that wrong? That's not gonna work. Wait, it wasn't right? Not the blood? The truth is plainly there, but this isn't the kind of detail you can see with your naked eye. Okay, so what did you see then? Blood in the sleeve that matches that of the victim with 99.989% certainty.
Deep freeze.
You know the details of forensic examination? Yeah, that was wrong. So wait, where's she going with this? Wait, can you smell? What can you feel? Lyndon was talking about smell in the room. Yeah, I was just thinking about like, okay, if it's smell, what is the smell gonna tell us? Wow. Because, I mean, the blood is not in question. He went outside. Or gunpowder residue. Wait, gunpowder residue? Gunpowder doesn't smell. So if he fired with this gun, it should have gunpowder residue on it. Yeah, I like that. I right, because this would be a gunpowder pistol. Yeah, yeah. Just do me one favor, detective. Tell me what you smell. You don't smell anything except for dried blood. Exactly. The coat smells like blood, but it doesn't smell of cigarette. That's what I've been smelling. Yes, Detective London. I was smoking earlier. Could you rejoin the conversation? I've been listening. You want me to smell the jacket? If you would. Let's see. Huh? No gunpowder. What? What about gunpowder? Oh, don't blame yourself for not noticing. This was before your time. You youngins. You can't be more than a few years older than me. Then fucking stop! But not before your partners, it seems. See, gunpowder is weak by today's standards, but it's still volatile stuff. Hard to store, prone to misfiring, and when it goes bang, it leaves behind an awful lot of evidence. The hell is she talking about, London? Modern firearms, like the ones we carry, use electricity, magnetism, even air pressure or sound waves. They've got more accuracy, more firepower, less recoil, less noise, and they don't leave behind any residue. Gunpowder residue. You talked my ear off about how difficult it is tracking down a gun that doesn't leave digital traces. But a revolver like this one, it'd leave gunpowder on the skin of whoever fired it for days. So then his coat. They don't trust your noses. You can check with the lab reports. I think if they had found any gunpowder in my client's clothes, they'd have taken the time to highlight it. Whatever. That just means he washed it off after shooting her, or he changed his clothes. It's not possible. But it would be pretty pointless. His jacket and his left hand were blood-soaked when your officers found him. Would he really have gone through all the effort to get rid of something as subtle as gunpowder residue, just to get the victim's blood all over himself afterwards? Huh. In light of these details, I'd like to formally request that you reconsider the charges Mr. Flat is facing as soon as possible. Whoa. They're faltering now. Should topple over any moment. The litter was mostly icing the cake for them. But that gun is all they had to link Carlos to any of the shootings. So it looks like he never actually fired the gun. I'll admit things were a little dicey at times, but I was able to grasp the situation. The smaller pieces fell into place easily enough. Not my cleanest work by far, but overall I'd say... Did she get a message? Wait, did they actually manage to find it? Something you'd like to share, Detective Reyes? You're good. Twisting the truth into knots, making the facts work for you. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Thanks. But your luck just ran out, because the net scrubbers found the cam active at the exact moment of this shooting. And right now, I'm staring at a photo of the color. Oh, fuck. Okay. Wanna bet? What does that mean? The photo of the shooter. If she had that, we wouldn't still be talking. But I doubt she'd just be pulling this out of her ass. She's got something from the scrubbers. Okay. I know, a lot of streaming. This is a cool game. Should we? Maybe like after the next part, we can say we call it there and leave the rest for Thursday. God, I don't erase that. She must be bluffing, or she's bluffing about her. I mean, she's bluffing a part of this, right? She's implying that she's looking at a picture of Carlos shooting. Yeah, so I think raise. That's a bold bluff at this late in the game, detective. Especially when we both know that there was an optics blackout during the shooting. Also, that part. Well, that's just it. This isn't from optics. Oh, fuck. Should have figured she would make a claim that bold, but something back it up. Okay, I see where I... Oh. Party's over, counselor. Feast your eyes on this. Well, okay. The quality is lacking. And yet, there it is. They managed to find a quarter needle of evidence in the whole city block of haystacks. What are those goddamn chances? No, with the scale their tools operate on, I guess the chances are, as always, in their favor. Isn't this a... right arm? Alright, this isn't good, but it's a far cry from the worst case scenario I envisioned. You could even say I got lucky, which means the stakes are... well, it's a little bit... blurry. Don't look at me, I didn't take the damn thing. Technically, no one took it. Looks like at the time of the shooting, the neighbor was on their phone. Probably venting about how crazy the couples across the way were acting. But the phone was on, its cameras would be on. And so we managed to get the shot through the window. Where to begin? Far away, unfocused, ultra low resolution, zoomed in, blurred, color shifted, and so compressed it looks like it's from another century. There are tools that could enhance this image any further, and I could count the pixels on one hand. And you could kiss the visibility and quirk goodbye. Yeah, like, all that shows is that somebody shot the victim, which is what we knew that. We knew that. Also, yeah, no, it's gonna eat at me. I know. You can't honestly claim that you can identify my client from this image. And there's no way in hell you can get this past a judge. Okay, so no, she was, like, she had something, but she was loving. Yeah, you're probably right. We couldn't. But I think I know a DA that could. God damn it. Either way, it doesn't seem like your client's leaving the police station anytime soon. That photo, what the hell's happening to me? I think I know a DA that could. Don't be so modest, old man. We have photo evidence of a left-handed shooter standing in the hallway at the same time the whole neighborhood heard a gunshot. And who do we know had their left hand fingerprints all over the gun? You're referring to my client. You think? We've established that he wasn't wearing his modded armor at all. Kind of looks like they're wearing gloves here. Kind of looks like they're wearing gloves there. So why would their fingerprints end up on the gun afterwards? So he must have shot with his left. Yes, and we've also established he's weak with his left side. A left side that has no gunpowder whatsoever. Forensics will never be perfect, counselor. Sometimes we miss things. Sometimes you take a walk through the rain when you finally get to where you're going. You somehow end up dry. But that doesn't mean it didn't rain. What should say? Before jury or judge, photographic evidence outweighs a failed sniff test. Carlos is innocent. I know he is. But that photo just shows a left-handed shooter. Carlos is innocent. That photo is real. If both are true, then that means that photo doesn't show what it appears to show. So, at a loss for words? Never. I'm just as confused about one little thing. Where was this photo taken from exactly? Exactly? Position data is usually only accurate to the nearest public router. If we DN on the phone's owner and ask them where, why bother with any of that? Ballistics and common sense tells us that the perp shot from the room's doorway. The front entrance of the apartment faces the south. There's a hallway that runs back to the bedroom. We looked straight at the shooter, so it's pretty obvious to know that was taken from the north window. But then that would imply that the shooter wouldn't even have to be in the room. But how did this get tossed over? How did that get tossed over? From the north? If this is from the north, then why can we clearly see the... It's not that complicated. The neighborhood who got the shot must have lived on the other side of the street. So we're looking to the bedroom from the north. Yeah, that puts into question. Yeah, well, hold on. I was also gonna point out that, like, okay, so what did Carlos said something about their room. Their room was, wasn't it that the doorway faced the street? So wouldn't the street be over here? And he ran up this way from the street? Like, the across the street should be this way. That's where I was thinking right there. It was just like, yeah, which means that, ow.
Nice birdie.
Can we see the picture again? Also, that clock is here. Didn't Carlos mention the clock was moved? Super detailed, but hold on. Where's the But yeah, you could get that shot if you were looking through the doorway and looking at the reflection. Autopsy? Single bullet pierced through the subject's sternum, left atrium, left aorta. Death was instantaneous, and handwriting at the bottom of the scanned document. Same handiwork as previous 5 lab message to confirm ballistics match 2. Oh, time of death 9 p.m. Wait. What is the photo? Yeah, okay, the photograph shows the clock with the right time, so that wouldn't have been to the mirror, because the clock would be backwards. But that's the thing I'm wondering about, though, because Carlos had mentioned that the clock was on the floor, that the clock was like, when he was going around and mentioning, like, oh, things that were out of place, he mentioned the clock. So why is the clock here? Maybe it's an error of the devs? Yeah, possibly. So that's what we were wondering, Jenny, but it was at 9 p.m. and this clock shows 9 p.m. And you wouldn't get that, assuming this clock is the right way up, you wouldn't get that through the mirror. This would be reversed. Throwing a burger in our class. Whoa. Interesting. Base, the debris. Oh yeah, okay. No, okay, the clock was drawn in the picture. There's a clock here, it's in the mirror, window. The mirror was upright. Wait. The mirror was upright. No, the mirror was upright, the clock was on the wall. So the clock was on the floor. You're getting Eldritch Blast when you get estrogen. Nice. Is that like a blow high blast? Baja blast? Maybe you bought the clock from an antique store that doesn't work. That's not a bad idea. Although even in this picture, it was drawn at 9 p.m. But hold on. So Carlos's testimony, the mirror was upright. The clock was on the wall, meaning the clock fell off the wall afterwards. Which, I mean, actually, what this might show, if the clock actually... Can we see the arcs? Did it again? Like, can we go back and look at the crime scene? I'm not sure if we can. But if the clock ended up on the floor, what that picture might show is that the room was like disrupted after the shot happened. Because if this clock ends up on the floor and Carlos has mentioned like, yeah, the clock was on the wall. That means that when this picture was taken, when the gunshot went off, the room was probably intact, and then the room was disheveled. Then the clock was thrown on the floor, and the vase was toppled over and stuff. That might be what this shows. Yeah, the trashing had to be after. Yeah. If she's wrong, then she sees the opportunity to start turning the tide. The photo taken from the west. She's right, the photo taken from the north. Oh, wait, yeah, okay, let's go back to the picture, the crime scene. Like, I feel like we need to raise it here. If we raise it, though, that means that... Oh! That's not the doorway. Sammy said it, yeah. Yeah, that's That's actually what it shows. Where's the picture? Where's our dumbass drawing? This wasn't by the doorway. This is by there, which means that we're not looking at the doorway through that picture. We're looking at the wall next to the mirror. So the killer is here. Like, the killer is here in the room, not at the doorway. Yes. I'm afraid that's simply not possible, detective. This photo has to have been taken from the west. What kind of bluff is that supposed to be? The detectives are misinformed here. I need to take advantage of it. Time to press the initiative. The hell do you mean this is taken from the west? The autopsy tells us the victim was shot from the doorway. Your officer's ARC's data tells us the precise location of everything in the room at the time they arrived. And now your photo's shown us the exact moment of the shooting. And now raise the ante on a hand up to the current to max. Answer wrong, you'll lose more credit, but answer correctly. And you can bank up more credit for trickier hand. This game is so cool. I'm saving. And together that tells us that this point must be taken from the west window. As long as you consider... Where is it? Wait, where is it? Mirrors upright, clock was on the wall, curtains are behind. We're neat. I think that's the... Oh, wait, okay, so... Okay, wait. I'm blocking it. This little thing. So we're confident of this. We can go gambling. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. We thought about this for a while. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're all in. Just take one look at the clock in that photo. The clock? What about it? The clock. Huh. Seems like London's got an idea. He's mistaken. I could pounce on it to keep my tempo high. This photo was taken right before the shooting, so... Wait. Don't tell me the time of death is wrong. No, that's not it. Because, like, we know the time of death from the autopsy. Like, it's... Clock doesn't... That's a good question, Detective London. But the answer is no. The autopsy, the clock, and the neighbors all agree the time of death was 9 p.m. Right, yeah. No mistaking that. So what the hell are you on about? There's a clock on the wall in this photo, analog style, and it reads 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. on the time of the shooting. Or, sorry, the time of shooting. So what the hell is so special about that? Nothing. There's nothing odd about the time of the clock reads, but do you remember where there being a clock in the room? What? Actually, I don't recall there being a clock. Yeah, that makes sense. You wouldn't recall seeing a clock because when the police secured the scene, the clock was already been knocked onto the floor. And the only clock in the room is in the northeastern corner. My client has informed me that before the crime, it was hung up on the eastern wall. Like so. What the hell is that supposed to be? An artistic rendition. It's, yeah, it's very distinct. If you had information on how the crime scene was before the shooting, why didn't you just add that to the arcs? Fucking everybody, I show you my hand. Just because discovery law compels us to share information doesn't mean you have to just play the fair detective. Oh, it slipped my mind. So I'll do that now. The important thing is that the clock was on the eastern wall before the shooting occurred. This photo must be looking through the western windows. Yeah, see? Don't get ahead of yourself. The victim was shot at 9 p.m., the same time that this photo was taken to the shooter, but you want to claim that the clock is still on the wall when it would have been knocked down during the fighting. You got your logic backwards there, detective. Your precious photo shows that the room was pristine at the time of the shooting, and there's one other piece of evidence that proves exactly how the cards fell. The only thing is about this. Oh. That's not... That's the mirror, isn't it? Behind them. They're not in front of the doorway. They're in front of the mirror. Is that what this is? Yeah, I think that has to be what it is. Although the placement of this thing kind of gets kind of funky. But like, what else would cause a square light kind of thing like this? So I'm gonna say the mirror debris. I'll make superb garlic bread. Ooh, that sounds great. I think. I'm only gonna go half in, but I think this is it. Natural one. Shut up. Glass shards, what about them? No, nothing much really. Only that they're on top of the victim's body. And not under it. If the glass fell on top of the victim's body, then that would mean that she was dead on the ground before the room got trashed. Also, oh wait, oh yeah, that makes more sense. But that doesn't make any sense. Why would anyone trash the room afterwards? Ah, yeah, it's a good question, Carlos. Luckily, as a detective, you had to delve into that mind of the criminally insane, not us. Tell me, detectives, were there any signs of struggle at the other crime scenes? Other crime scenes? No, nothing like that. Those attacks would have been over in a matter of seconds. So what did you think when you saw the mess in the bedroom? That this is personal, and things have gotten complicated. Shit happens. Oh yes, shit does happen, detective. But in this case, it seems there's been a general misconception about the order in which shit happened. So what if the room didn't get tossed up until afterwards? She still shot her. And we have the photo right here. And I'm glad that you did, detective, because that photo proves my client's innocence. Proving that it wasn't my client who pulled the trigger is difficult, and maybe more importantly for all of us, time-consuming. Thanks to your photo, I can instead prove that it couldn't have been my client who pulled the trigger, because the man in the photo can't possibly be Carlos. Like hell it can't. Flash shards prove the room was pristine at the time of the shooting, and we know that the room was tossed and the clock was on the eastern wall, which means, which means that that this photo of the shooter was taken from the west. Back to the shit. Come on, it's impossible. The only hallway in that apartment runs from north to south. The only person with print on the gun is your client. The only fact that matters is that he used it to murder 6 innocent people. You're a very honest person, detective. Excuse me? That's why you're such a shitty gambler. You played your cards too early, and now I can steal the pot right from under you. You're right about the hallway's orientation. You're right about the prints. And this HK figure has claimed 6 victims. But we aren't looking at the hallway in that photo. What? What we're seeing is the mirror. The mirror. Yeah, right? The mirror. That's what we're saying. Seriously. We're definitely looking at those things. Those worthless ceramics smashed the platform. Yeah, okay. What does this one say? No cans of shooting. Yeah, okay. What is that? You're trying to oh, wait. I should press plus. Oops. Sort of. By the way, do you recall where those glass shards came from? Yeah, sure. They came from a standing mirror. Yeah, I thought so. A mirror that at the time of the shooting stood across the room from the western window. But from that would mean at that angle, from that viewpoint, it would reflect the hallway. So we're not seeing a gun. Wait. Oh, this part is, oh fuck, right. Wow, right. We're not looking at the whole scene. This part is a reflection. Right. Duh, right. Oh, this is the bad place. We're seeing a killer take aim with their right. No. You had it right. No, don't flip this part. Because now the clock's wrong. But yeah, no, we called it. We got the pot. You see a killer take aim with their right arm. And as we all know, my client hasn't had a working right arm in a number of weeks. And he hasn't worn his rental since this morning. So I meant what I said about that photo. I'm glad it was recovered. Because it just proved my client couldn't possibly have committed this crime. But that then puts the clock in the right position. Wait, so why is the clock wrong? Maybe that is a mess up, or like an error by the devs. Because yeah, no, that would be where the clock should be placed based on the drawing. But that does then make the time the clock is showing wrong. Unless the time was actually wrong. The clock was right. Yeah, but in flipping the image, it then shows the clock not being 9 p.m. and it shows it over there. No, but in the image they just showed of this, they inverted the whole image, including the clock. So the clock was inverted when she just showed like actually it's a mirror. Yeah, I know. But in the game, what the game just showed was not just the mirror part inverted. The game showed the whole thing inverted, including the clock. Which would make sense because the clock is supposed to be there. The clock is supposed to be on the right side of the mirror, not the left side. Maybe the clock is a broken antique. Maybe it actually doesn't tell the right time. Easier visual thing to do. I'm just wondering if that was an oversight or if there actually is something there. It could be that actually the clock was a red herring in that regard. Like it was showing the right time, but actually it's I don't know, something, even a broken clock, right? Twice a day. Man. Well, no, in the picture, the whole image is reflected. So actually, no, what we were saying, I think what we had said that this square was the mirror because of, like, we were saying, okay, well, this Sorry. We were assuming that, well, this is the right way around, so this part can't be reflected. So only this part is reflected. But actually, no. I think the game is saying that the whole thing is seen through the mirror. Or no, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I want to see the. I wish I could go back to see the image that was slipped. That should be the end of it. Except, this looks like Detective Reyes it really is a novice gambler. Slick Cost has got its teeth in her now, clawing up her spine, whispering wounded pride in your ear. It's a cold sweat, hot palms kind of fever. The impotent, irrational fury of losing something you thought was guaranteed yours. But like you, Detective, I am well versed in shock therapy. You look dissatisfied, Detective Reyes. That's one word for it. Allow me to put a nice bow on everything for you. In summary, my client's so-called confession was just a note to self. The police found him in shock, reeling at the death of his girlfriend, and arrested him for being next to a gun that he forensically couldn't have fired. After being confronted with all these facts, he received photographic evidence of the exact moment of the shooting. And instead of utilizing that photo to track down the real color, you try to claim it depicted my client, a man without the requisite limb, standing in an architecturally impossible hallway. He could have had a backup arm. He could have stolen one. A little stubbornness can be charming, but this kind of desperation is ugly. It's getting late. It is getting late. Kind of in my fangs a bit. That's the best you got. Even a bare bones prosthetic off the black market needs to be attuned to the individual's nervous system. You have to bring it to a clinic which would have left record of his shoulder OS. A record you won't find. And you still have to find, somehow have gotten rid of it before the police arrive. SOP at this crime scene of a violent crime calls for a full spectrum scanning of the entire building and 100 meters around it minimum. So word Detective Reyes that he managed to hide a cybernetic arm from your drones in the time between the shooting and his arrest. Damn. Well. Any objections? Detective? God damn it! Yeah. Show me your hand flat. You're uncuffing me? In light of the evidence, we have no reason to hold you. Now I gotta call the DA and tell her I made a mistake. Not we made a mistake, huh? Listen, kid, you should know. Detective? Lost my train of thought. But hey, your attorney's a real tiger, and she just fought like hell for you. Make sure you thank her properly. Public defense doesn't play that well. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of you to say, Detective. But my work is its own reward. Yeah, sure. I feel exactly the same, Counselor. Oh, well, what happens now? I'll have to speak to the DA about the dismissal, and there's still some paperwork we'll need to go through. But basically, you're free to go. Congrats! You get to leave the casino with your kneecaps intact. Yay. But what am I supposed to do? The detectives will continue their investigation. Their investigation to heartbreak, huh? Yes. When the authorities are satisfied with their examination of the body, she'll be handed over to the next of kin. Oh, okay. She'll be handed over to the next of kin. And then you can make your final funeral arrangements. No, that's not what I... Huh? The hand being gone is bad enough. But a serial killer? It's like she died of the flu. It doesn't happen anymore. People die of the flu all the time, but... Yeah, I know what you mean. I can't make sense of it. So what am I supposed to do? Hell if I know. There are some contacts I could give you. Services, professionals, doctors. No, you've done more than enough for me. When he got here, I was too tired to even defend myself, to try to convince him that I didn't. You saved me. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, Carlos. But it's my job to... No, I mean, thank you for not asking. Huh? For not asking if I killed her. Oh, Carlos. I didn't need to ask. I knew you're innocent from the start. How do you know that? How do we know that? Of course he was. After all. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah? The blood's always different. A heart's always the same place, easy to find, hard to miss. But the blood's always different. A flaring stain unfurling towards an invisible sun. Perfectly unique bloom. Only one for each of us. A Rorschach test with singular universal meaning. Fatality at its climax. Bursting forth into the red fractal consisting solely of an infinite the end. With the comical thud of a body hitting the floor has its own kind of lowbrow appeal. My dream woman is a serial killer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, ooh, this is very cool. Bullet number 6 of 6. The gun's empty. It's useless to me now. May as well leave it. Feels like a waste, but whatever. Finding the ammo was almost enough of a hassle to outweigh the advantages. I could sell the ununtagged gun for a fair bit of cash, but cash can't buy peace of mind. Oh, don't look so surprised, lady. Moping around the dark in here, you must have only been able to see my silhouette. Did she think I was her boyfriend, back from an encore of that enthralling conversation? Can't ask her now. Hey! Yeah, did you hear that? These old pieces are so goddamn loud. And people aren't even familiar with enough sound to know to run the other way. Probably aroused half the neighborhood. I didn't see anything I could use even as a partial suppressor in the way in. Did they really not force him to throw pillows? Use the other 5 bullets in the outdoor spaces and small spheres and blind opportunity that the city's eyes couldn't think to pierce. Cramped places, usually full of trash. This room, as cheap as it looks, is at least clean, organized even. So the corpse adds a certain satisfying contrast. Except, there's shit on the floor. By the window, there are broken pieces of something fragile and tacky. It's fine. It's just one thing out of place. Actually, no, it's not fine. It's actually really irritating. Kicked over the stupid goddamn mirror. 5 perfect crime scenes, each of them not a speck of evidence, nothing to go on. For the final shot, there just has to be some pile of shit in the corner, ruining everything. Kick the wall. Something falls from it, probably more tasteless bullshit. Talks over the chair, knock the urn. Tear into the sheets by frustration, trying to savor the shredding. If it can't be clean, I'll just have to lean to the messy angle. At least it will be consistent. This is also stupid. Honestly, I'm not the ego-driven type. In fact, I pride myself on my humility. Now, was it satisfying when the first 3 went down without single shots? Or with single shots? Yes. But so what? I'm not made of stone. After that, I did start to actively aim for the heart, but... Heartbreak killer? Really? Don't people have anything better to do at the time? What kind of miserable, lifeless voyeurs would obsess over something that's none of their business? All these threads of breakdowns and the goddamn deer crafting, all for the heartbreak killer. Sounds like a soap opera villain from a season where the writers were on strike. That feels like a specific call out to a lot of different things. I feel insulted by the label, but no, that's someone else's name. They came up with it. They spread it. They marketed it. Heartbreak got nothing to do with me. It's just some reclusive, lonely, socially impotent loser who shot 6 people because... Well, I'm sure people come up with something. I got rejected one too many times or whatever. Me, I killed these people because I saw them and I wanted to. And I've killed a lot more than just 6. At least this room is thoroughly trashed now. If I just walked away after seeing that mess by the window, it would have irritated me to no end. And now that it doesn't match my MO the last 5 perfectly, it'll irritate their cops to no end instead. Good riddance, Heartbreak. You enjoy your 15 minutes in the spotlight. Really savor it. I'm going home. Here's Rady tonight. Thick, energized. Heavily foreshadowed summer rain. I can feel in every hair. They call this kind of humidity oppressive, but I disagree. The warm tension on your skin, like in those short moments just after the shower turns off, when the steam lingers. Yeah, it's always more comfortable at night, right afterwards. Maybe there's no disagreement to be had. Oppressive things can be comforting too. Only the guilty ones run. I don't know about that, but I know I've never felt guilty about any of this. And I walk. I can have many sweet dreams. My brain for months. Before the new months. Sorry, using my left still. Oh, that's okay. You can just initial in the spots. I took a scenic route home, courtesy of the fine city's sprawling public transportation, and got home in a bit after 11 p.m. Had myself a thorough shower, drank a glass of milk, did some stretching, made sure my phone was on. Time went by evenly. Around 1:40 a.m., a posting for a public defender work came by. Decent rate, since it was so late and so urgent. I had wagered correctly that the boyfriend would have had enough sense to ask for a lawyer, and enough debt that he'd need to be provided one. All I had to do was stay awake. There wasn't much competition after 1 in the morning. Okay, where else? Here and here. How did I phrase it earlier? Criminal defense attorneys aren't exactly flush with customers. Oh my god. Why wouldn't I take on a job where I already knew more than the cops? It would have been easy to convince Carlos to plead out. I would have gotten paid the same too. But easy is dangerous. Carlos was, of course, innocent, so his conviction would never be airtight. There'd be doubts, questions, appeals, even fans depending on his looks. More attention on HK and his crimes. More headaches. Cold case rotting in the far back of the public's awareness is always preferable to one open and shut in haste. Now, with no more murders matching HK's MO, there won't be any additional public pressure to find a culprit. Now Heartbreak can just starve to death, out of sight and out of mind, like any other fluke in the system. Almost done. Getting involved with the case intimately does have its risks. Hell, I might even have overdone things here or there. Like lighting up the smoke inside the interrogation room just to make it doubly sure I didn't smell of gunpowder myself. I see. That London fellow seemed more fixated on it than I would have liked. But obviously, everything turned out rosy. Right, and that's also why in the beginning, we were asking questions and playing dumb about the Heartbreak Killer. We were not digging for evidence or, like, knowledge about what they knew about the victim or like, about the suspect. We were digging for knowledge about what they knew about, how much they knew about, like, Morgan being the killer. She's so fucking good. This is... And it's worth it for the finality of it all. Seeing the authorities' failings from the best seat in the house, that's just a bonus. Thanks again, Morgan, for everything. I'm sure Diana is grateful too. Funny. I didn't even know her name. Yeah, you know how in Ace Attorney, first case, they show the killer immediately? Mm-hmm. 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 Which is a callback or reference to Columbo, which we started watching Columbo. Columbo's really cool. Where but in the first, I mean, even just the very first Columbo, like the pilot episode, I guess it is. Yeah, they show the killer, so there wasn't any question. You just really get the whole like back and forth and the game, the mental game. Something the matter? No, sorry, it's just... I was mad when I left the apartment. I know she was too. So when she died... That's what's instantaneous, Carlos. I can't imagine that she was in any pain. In fact, I can guarantee she was dead before she hit the ground. No, I know, but I just kept thinking that she must have died angry at me. That she must have died hating me. Oh, we do have evidence. Oh, they're doing the final evidence thing. They're doing the Phoenix. Ah! This is the evidence. Because she was holding... That's also why when we noticed that, or like we saw that in the thing, Morgan was like, how the hell didn't I notice this before? Because she didn't mean like notice it the first time she looked over the VR stuff. She meant like when she was there. Like, how did she not notice the pill bottle when she was there? Aw, GameCube, thank you. Thank you. For that evidence. To tell you the truth, Carlos, there's something I've been wondering about myself. Yeah, what is it? Something I noticed in the ARC data that I didn't quite understand. A piece of the puzzle I couldn't fit in anywhere else. But maybe you can make sense of it. Ow. Oh, what is that? Where did you find that? That pill organizer was found in a victim. She had grasped it in her hand when she died. Obviously, the police added it to the ARCs, but it was quickly ruled irrelevant. It seemed like it contained triprexazone, prescribed to help modders with phantom itches. They're small tablets, and those are tricky clasps, too, for a pill organizer. Could be hard to handle with an unsteady hand. No one will ever know what she was feeling when she died. Even if they did. Feelings are complicated. You can feel angry, happy, and sad all at the same time. But as far as facts are concerned, it would appear that when she died, what she was doing was setting out your medications for the week. To my eyes, anyway. Oh. The monk was really well timed. The monk just happened. It's like, I think 5 or 10 minutes, I forget. Long night. That was too far just now. Practically rubbing it in his face. Not like I care about his feelings. I doubt I'll ever see him again. But overstepping like that is pure hubris. And hubris invites the downfall. So, why? Why did I even bother? It was the last piece of the puzzle, I suppose. I'll just need to show more restraint next time. Though, there won't be a next time for heartbreak. The gun's in custody. There's no more bullets left. There won't be a 7th victim. There won't be any more leads to pursue. The media will move on to their next obsession. I'll move on to my next MO. And no one will ever found you. District Attorney Rockford. Hello. Can I help you? Sorry, can I try that again? Oh, I'm so fried. Yeah, by all means. Counselor Morgan, morning or noon or night, you're always so put together. Thank you. I don't get it. How do you sleep at night? Pardon? You do white noise? Aromatherapy? Whatever you're dealing, I need to steal it. God. I must have bags in my eyes, dark enough to the dumpsters. Assistant District Attorney Emma Rockford. She's a prosecutor, the lawyer who argues for the state in court, trying to prove the defendant's guilt. And despite her sometimes unkempt appearance, she's probably the sharpest person to fill the position in decades. I should know, since I haven't beaten her once. Worse yet, she has a remarkable ability to compartmentalize all that adversarial energy and only bring it out in the courtroom. Whatever makes her good at her job, and hard for me to read. Should I buy a new mattress? What do they got you doing at this ungodly hour, Emma? Oh, well, actually I'm here for you. Me? Your client was a suspect in the Heartbreak killings. That's my case. Oh, well, you must have been relieved finding out that you won't have to go to trial against me. Why would I be worried about going up against you? It's always the unintended barbs with her. So you're working with those detectives. Yeah, and the new girl, Ray's. They've been reporting to me in preparation for the trial. Or for trial. Preparation for trial? That seems ambitious. Guess I gave you the rundown. I've been doing everything they can, but... Oh yeah, it's hard to find a killer. Catch a killer who leaves behind so little. It's hard to kill while leaving so little behind. So Ray's told you had HK in custody and you popped out of bed all excited to run down here. Hardly. I haven't slept in 40 hours. Too much on my mind. So when I heard of the case of a single female victim shot to the heart, yeah, my ears perked up, but that's about all. Oh? Yeah, she does look like the prosecutor, doesn't... Well, yeah. I mean, Carlos Latta, serial killer? Same serial killer that's outsmarted the state for weeks. She's not using his middle name. He was found with a murder weapon. But I can answer that any number of ways. That may be true, but then I glanced at the report. You glanced at it? No gunpowder residue on him or his clothes. Right. Too remorseful to apologetic in that note. Whatever it was about. This dominant armada with documented sensitivity issues. Never could have made shot that clean. Not without getting close enough to leave his scorch marks. Not to mention, he's too tall for ballistic entry angles, and probably too heavy not to leave imprints. She's got all that from a glance? Oh, but I'm sure Commandant Lori yourself pointed all of that out the minute you walked in here. Yeah, of course. Worst part is she's not even being sarcastic. Yeah, of course it couldn't have been him. Long-term relationship, physically imposing and argumentative, not the type to bottle things up. He didn't match the profile. Profile? Yeah, the... Oh, right, sorry, you've probably never heard of it. I know what a goddamn profile is. Profile is a reconstruction of criminal psychology based on evidence from their crimes. Kind of fallen out of fashion for the last few decades. Much needed. Not much need to guess about the why when 99 cameras out of 99 times out of 100, the who is caught on camera. Or before they even leave the house. I've had to find some real fossils and oddballs to get advice on how to go about it, but I think I'll get the hang of it. This oh shit. Okay. Well, welcome toxic Yuri Ace Attorney. Okay. I'm sure for 8 hours. I'm also just hit an ad break. I'm debating ending it here. And in this being where we pick it up tomorrow. No, I mean Thursday. Well, I guess actually no, tomorrow, because today is Wednesday now, which is tomorrow is Thursday. I should go to bed. I should go to bed. But this is really good. This is very, very good. I am... Ooh. Okay. Well, ad running, so I'll come over. I know it's yeah. I know. You. Oh my god, you work in an hour. I'm sorry. I hope that you have a good day at work. Oh. Thank you for showing me this game. This is exactly what I want and what I needed. And this Morgan is very cool. This whole thing is fucking good. I'm gonna work on trying to see if I can make like a makeshift outfit out for these streams on Thursday. For sick leave. Otherwise we're gonna start working. Oh my god, Luna. I need to not. Okay. I'm gonna try not to stay up this late for another stream. So I need to not be like destroying all of you. I need you all. Y'all need to be like, you know, getting good sleep and stuff. Meh. Hi, Saria. Hi, how's it going? Thank you for sticking by with this. Thank you for being here for all this. Cause like, yeah, I've musical. Yeah, this is really fun. I'm gonna play through this and then episode 1 for sure. Okay. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. And for anybody who missed pieces of this and want to get it, we'll make sure that we get the VOD for this out soon. We have a couple VODs we need to get out. Sorry if I can get your help with more VODs. I could try to handle like some. Maybe we can like figure out like which ones I can do and then split the work. But yeah. Breaking it at this exact point is the worst I can imagine. No, I think this is a good moment to end it off on actually, because like we're about to like really get to know a new character and get to know like this conflict, and then we'll go from like this ending bit into chapter 1. So I think this is a good place to leave off, I think. Let me make sure this is properly saved. And yeah, thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for sticking by for ow, such a long stream. Thank you for supporting with the video today. I'm glad that people enjoyed it. I'll take care of yourselves. We're gonna raid Lassie first. Hey, by the way, as well, and if you stick around for the raid, in 15 minutes, it's gonna be a Bad Apple 3 a.m. So in 15 minutes, you can hear Bad Apple on Seahorse's stream. Important, momentous moment each Seahorse stream. Thank you, Luna. Thank you. Right here's raid, and that's me for the night. Thank you all for everything. Y'all stay cool this week. I will catch you all around, and yeah. And Zoe again, thank you for the art. Thank you. Nice birdie. Okay, yeah. Good night, everybody. Bye.